Hey guys, welcome back to part 3 of the Gen Z Nostalgia Iceberg Explained. We've already explored some iconic memories and early trends, but there's still so much more to uncover from the 2000s and 2010s. This time, we're diving into even more of the shows, games, memes, and moments that shaped our childhoods and teen years. So sit back, relax, and get ready for another dose of nostalgia-packed fun. Layer 6, The Darkness. These are entries that weren't as popular as the ones that we've already discussed, but are still quite well known. Fez. Fez is a platformer game released in 2012. The game has you control a 2D character who discovers a 3D world and must navigate through this mysterious place. The game was quite cool and was critically acclaimed too.
FGTV. FGTV was a YouTube channel known for making Five Nights at Freddy's content such as Let's Plays and lore breakdowns. The channel made a ton of FNAF content and gained a huge following.
Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem is a video game series made by Nintendo, with the first game in 1990. It is known for its combat, intricate character development, and storyline centered around war. The series had its last release in 2023.
Fireboy and Water Girl. Fireboy and Water Girl is a 2009 Flash game in which two players can play together using separate halves of the keyboard. The game had both players collaborate through a series of levels. This was one of the most iconic Flash games of all time.
Fishhooks. Fishhooks was a Disney show that aired from 2009 to 2014. The show follows a group of anthropomorphic fish attending high school and navigating teenhood in a comedic light.
Five Nights at Freddy's fan games. This refers to the many FNAF fan games that were made mostly using Adobe Flash Player. These were of varying quality.
Final Destination. Final Destination is a horror film series in which a group narrowly escapes death after one person has a premonition of a deadly disaster. Each person tries to escape, but doesn't.
FLCL, or Fooly Cooly, was an animated followed the adventures of a boy named Naruto after he finds a mysterious woman, Haruko. The series only had 6 seasons, but yeah, was well loved.
Flo Rida. Flo Rida was a music artist who started in 2007 and was best known for his songs Whistle, Low, and Right Round. Whistle recently became somewhat of a meme.
Flushed Away. Flushed Away is a 2007 animated film that features Roddy, a pet rat, who gets flushed into the sewer city of Retropolis. He teams up with the scavenger Rita and embarks on an adventure to return home.
Forza Horizon. Forza Horizon is an open-world racing game series with its first game in 2012 and latest as of 2021 with Forza Horizon 5. Forza Horizon 2 and 3 are considered the best due to the driving experience, multiplayer, and map. Forza Horizon 4 and 5 are less popular due to the worsening quality. It was once an Xbox exclusive, but now it is on PC, and PS5 recently just got Forza Horizon 5, so that's pretty good news.
Franklin. Franklin is a TV show following a turtle named Franklin as he learns many important life lessons with his friends and family while navigating his daily life. The show ran from 1997 to 2004 and was watched by and loved by many Gen Z kids.
Fresh Off the Boat. Fresh Off the Boat was a TV show series that aired from 2015 to 2020. The show follows Eddie Huang and his family as they navigate the cultural clashes between their Taiwanese heritage and their new American life. The show was quite revolutionary for its time.
Fried Chili Cheese Dogs. Fried Chili Cheese Dogs was a YouTube channel from 2007. This channel made videos of the channel's creator and his family doing goofy things. The channel had many videos lost, but some were re-uploaded.
Fruitiger Metro. Fruitiger Metro was a famous aesthetic between the mid-2000s and the late 2010s. The aesthetic utilized vector designs, glossy textures, abstract flourishes, humanism, nature, gradients, and bloom elements. This design was quite famous and feels kind of like a teenage version of Fruitiger Arrow.
Fudge. Fudge was a book series written by Judy Blume, following the adventures of Peter Hatcher and his younger brother Fudge. These books explore sibling rivalry, growing up, and navigating friendships.
Gator Skin Balls. These were the playground brawls that were used in schools and were known for their vibrant colors. It was painful to get hit with them during dodgeball. It was pretty bad.
George Bush shoe throw. This was when George W. Bush had a shoe thrown at him by a journalist in Baghdad during a press conference. This was done as a protest against U.S. invasion of Iraq, as throwing shoes was a symbol of intense disrespect in Arab culture.
Geronimo Stilton. Geronimo Stilton was a famous novel series featuring the anthropomorphic mouse Geronimo Stilton, who was a journalist in New Mouse City. The series was quite popular and even had a TV show series made based on the books.
Ghost Stories. This was an anime that aired in 2000 following a group of children who encounter spirits and supernatural events at school. The show became somewhat of a meme due to its English dub with many jokes and off dialogue.
Gidget. Taco Bell Chihuahua. Gidget was the dog from Taco Bell's advertising in the 90s and 2000s. It was a talking chihuahua who famously said, "Yo quiero Taco Bell." The commercials were iconic.
Romeo and Juliet. This was a 2011 film which was an adaptation of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet with the characters as long knowns of two neighbors who are always competing.
Golden Sun. Golden Sun was an RPG made for the GBA in 2001. The game follows a group of heroes with elemental magic ability called Synergy, which they use on their quest to prevent the revival of an ancient destructive power.
Good Burger. Good Burger was a 1997 film following the characters from Kenan and Kel under the names Dexter and Ed, working at a local restaurant called The Good Burger, who have to save their restaurant from the competing Mondo Burger. The film had a sequel in 2023.
Good Luck Charlie. Good Luck Charlie was a TV show that ran from 2010 to 2014. The show followed the Duncan family navigating the challenges of raising 4 children. The series centers on Charlie, the youngest of the family, and her adventures.
Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo is a close track racing game. First game released in 1998 and the latest in 2022. The game had the world's most famous cars and tracks, with also some fake tracks, of course. It is considered one of the best PlayStation exclusives of all time, with arguably the best being Gran Turismo 4, and it directly competes with Forza Motorsport.
Gravity Guy. Gravity Guy was a mobile game where players control their character switching gravity to navigate through levels. The game was quite challenging, but still very fun.
Gravity Rush. Gravity Rush was a 2012 game for the PS Vita in which you would control Kat, who can manipulate gravity to complete various puzzles and defeat enemies. The game was later remastered for the PS4.
Grips. Grips were a line of crunchy snack crackers that came in many flavors based on famous snacks like Cheetos, Cheetos, and Graham crackers. These are still sold to this day.
Grown Ups. This was a 2010 movie that followed a group of childhood friends who reunite after the basketball coach's death and spend a weekend together. The film had a sequel in 2013.
Guess How Much I Love You. This was a children's book written by Sam McBratney in 1994. The story follows Little and Big Nut Brown pair as they express their love for each other in heartfelt ways.
Guess Who. Guess Who was a 2-player board game where players ask yes or no questions to deduce the identity of their opponent's mystery character. The game was quite simple and fun and came out in the 1980s. Harold and the Purple Crayon. Harold and the Purple Crayon is a children's book written by Crockett Johnson in 1955, following Harold, a young boy who uses a purple crayon to draw his own world and adventures. The book will soon be getting a film adaptation, which is pretty cool.
Harvest Moon. Harvest Moon is a farming sim video game series with its first released in 1996. In the game, you manage a farm, grow crops, raise animals, and build relationships with the townspeople. The series had many sequels and spin-offs.
Harvey Breaks. This was a 2015 show following the bird and his friends who go on adventures together. The show ran until 2017 and was one of Nickelodeon's last good shows.
Heinz Colored Ketchup. This refers to the Easy Squirt ketchups that Heinz made in the 2000s. These were available in green, purple, mystery, which could be pink, orange, or teal, and blue, but were discontinued due to low sales.
Hershey's Kisses Christmas commercial. This is the commercial that Hershey's airs around Christmas time with the Kisses chocolates moving around to the tune of We Wish You a Merry Christmas. This still airs to this day.
H3 Productions. This is a YouTube channel started in 2011 by Ethan and Hilla Klein. The channel has over 5 million subscribers and makes reaction videos based on internet culture. Still posted it.
Hi Hi Puffy Ami Yumi. Hi Hi Puffy Ami Yumi is a TV show focusing on the fictional adventures of the members of the J-pop duo Puffy Ami Yumi. The show ran from 2004 to 2006.
Highlights for Children. Highlights for Children is a magazine that started in 1946. They feature games, surveys, jokes, and trivia-like questions. The magazine is still going to this day.
Holes. Holes is a book made by Louis Sachar in 1998. The book is about Stanley Yelnats, who is sent to a boot camp after being wrongly convicted of theft. The boot camp isn't normal at all, and Stanley goes on a long adventure. The book got a movie adaptation in 2003 and is worth watching.
Home on the Range. Home on the Range is a 2004 film about a cattle rusher, Alameda Slim, who buys properties in Nebraska. When they go after another farm, the animals on the farm attempt to save their land from a rustler.
Honey Bear, the Duck Song spinoff. This is a song made by Forest Fire 101 in 2009. Of course, the spinoff of the Duck Song, where this time the song's conversing with a honey bear.
Horton Hear the Who. Horton Hear the Who is a Dr. Seuss book about Horton the elephant who must save who will, a tiny planet on a speck of dust, from the animals that would mock him.
Hotel for Dogs. Hotel for Dogs was a 2009 film about 2 orphan siblings who take in stray dogs and keep them along with their family dog in a vacant hotel. Hence the name Hotel for Dogs.
How It Should Have Ended. How It Should Have Ended is a YouTube channel that creates alternate endings for popular films. Still make videos to this day.
How It's Made. How It's Made is such an iconic TV show. It takes a look at how everyday products and food items are made while giving the audience a better understanding of what goes into making these items. Most of us would have seen this, and it's been going since 2001.
Human Fall Flat. Human Fall Flat is a 2016 video game where you have to navigate through floating dreamscapes either on your own or with friends. The game is a simple but incredibly fun game.
Hunter x Hunter. This is a 2011 anime based on the manga of the same name. It follows Gon Freaks, who attempts to become a hunter while searching for his father. Ran until 2016.
Jacksepticeye. Jacksepticeye is a YouTuber who first joined in 2012. He started by making video game playthroughs, but has now expanded to making some reaction content. Still makes primarily gaming content, and he still makes new videos to this day.
Jack in the Box commercials. This is referring to those funny Jack in the Box commercials from the 2000s to 2010s. Some of these ads were a bit, let's just say, PG-13.
In my place, I'm bringing back the bonus Jack. 2 patties, melting cheese, and my secret sauce plus fries and a drink for only $3.99.
I get it. You can eat a lot cheaper at your place than you can at home. But do you have this?
I have dessert.
What about this?
Oh. Oh.
Jack, that's for Max.
But they were all just hilarious to watch.
Jane Animations. Jane Animations is a YouTuber who makes animated storytime style videos similar to The Odd Ones Out. She started making videos back in 2014, and she and The Odd Ones Out have made a few videos together too, and she's still making videos to this day.
Jak and Daxter. This is a video game series that first released in 2001. The game has you play as Jak, a young teen who helps his friend Daxter, who transformed into an Otso, a mix of a weasel and an otter. The last game was in 2009 with The Lost Frontier.
Jake and the Neverland Pirates. Jake and the Neverland Pirates was a TV show that came out in 2011 and ended in 2016. The show is about a kid named Jake who has to try and stop Captain Hook, an evil pirate, from doing bad. The show is a classic, and I personally remember watching it as a kid.
Jake from State Farm. Jake from State Farm is the main character of the State Farm commercial since 2011. The character is extremely iconic and is played by an actual State Farm agent, however, was replaced in 2020 by Kevin Miles.
James Bond. James Bond is a fictional character created by British journalist Ian Fleming in 1953. He is a British secret agent working for MI6 under the name 007. He is one of the most recognizable characters in history.
Jane and the Dragon. Jane and the Dragon was a 2005 TV show about Jane, the king's daughter, who dreams about becoming a knight and proves her ability when a prince is kidnapped by a dragon. The show had a short run, ending in 2006.
Jaws. Jaws is an American horror film released in the year 1975. The movie is based on the book and tells the story of a great white shark that terrorizes Cape Cod. The movie was a commercial success, being the first movie to gross over $100 million at the box office, and the movie was directed by Steven Spielberg.
JJ the Jet Plane. JJ the Jet Plane was a 1994 show that featured terrifying airplanes, one of which looked like Thomas the Tank Engine's long-lost sibling. The show followed a jet plane going on adventures with his friends, and ended in 2005. Jeff the Killer. Jeff the Killer was a creepypasta about a serial killer who was disfigured after an accident and went crazy after he saw his face. The creepypasta was accompanied by the iconic image, which will be on screen in 3, 2, 1. This was very popular and originated in 2011.
Jenga. Jenga is a game that used the wood blocks that were in the shape of a rectangular prism. The blocks would get stacked in 3x1 tower, and you would have to pull a block out of the tower and put it on top without making the tower topple over.
Jenna Marbles. Jenna Marbles was a YouTuber who got famous from her 2010 video, How to Trick People into Thinking You're Good Looking, depicting her making fun of herself with Never Gonna Give You Up playing in the background. She unfortunately no longer makes videos.
Jersey Shore. Jersey Shore was a 2009 show that followed the lives of several young adults in New Jersey and their friends and hookups. The show was pretty stupid about it, and it ran until 2012.
Jesse and Mike. Jesse and Mike is a YouTube channel that primarily makes skits and comedic videos. Some of their videos were kind of traumatizing, but most were really funny.
Jesse. Jesse is a TV show series that first came out in 2011 that follows the lives of the Ross family and their babysitter Jesse. The TV show would follow their daily adventures growing together, and the show ended in 2015 when the new show Bunked began. Bunked, which we talked about earlier in the Iceberg, was basically the follow-up to Jesse, but it was just the Ross kids at a camp and Jesse wasn't there. Sadly, nowadays the original characters are gone from Bunk.
Jetix. Jetix was a programming block that ran between 1990 and 2010. The block aired animes Spider-Man, Sonic, and Pucca. The block is unfortunately gone now. JibJab. JibJab is a website that was launched in 1999. It got popular during the 2004 US presidential election when a video of George Bush and John Kerry singing "This Land Is Your Land" became a viral hit. The site lets you upload an image of a face to turn into a digital postcard that could dance on screen.
Jigsaw. Jigsaw is a film series that are about a serial killer known as Jigsaw or John Kramer. He was known to leave a signature mark on all of his victims. The series has so far had 10 movies, with the 10th film set for release in 2023. The first film came out in 2004.
Jim Carrey movies. This is referring to how many movies that were starring Jim Carrey, such as Mask, Dumb and Dumber, How the Grinch Stole Christmas 2000, The Truman Show, and Yes Man. These are very iconic and are well remembered by many.
Jimmy Kimmel Halloween candy prank. This was a thing that Jimmy Kimmel did, where he would ask people to prank their kids and submit videos of them doing such pranks to him. Sadly, he stopped doing them a bit back due to controversy.
Jimmy Two Shoes. Jimmy Two Shoes is an animated TV show series that first came out in 2009 and ran until 2011. The show was about a teenager who tries to make the town of Miseryville an exciting place. The show had a short run and wasn't all that popular.
Joey's World Tour. Joey's World Tour is a YouTube channel where the host Joey makes comedic and entertaining food review videos. He hasn't uploaded much recently. Johnny Bravo was a TV show series that first came out in 1997. It followed the life of Johnny Bravo, who was a muscular, dim-witted man with an Elvis Presley-style voice who lived in Aron City. The show ended in 2014.
Johnny English. Johnny English was a 2003 film featuring the beloved Rowan Atkinson. The film is about Johnny English, Britain's most confident but unintelligent spy who, following an attack on MI7, becomes Britain's only spy. It's a pretty funny movie.
Johnny Test. Johnny Test is a 2005 show about a boy named Johnny Test who finds his way into mischief due to his older sister's science inventions. The show was great and ran until 2014.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. JoJo's Bizarre Adventures is a manga series that first came out in 2012 and is still going to this day. The series follows a Joestar family who are possessed with intense psychic strength and the adventures each member encounters throughout their lives.
Jonas Brothers. The Jonas Brothers are a band that was formed in 2005 and was active until 2013, featuring Kevin, Joe, and Nick Jonas. They were known for their songs Love Bug, SOS, and Hold On. They came back in 2019, releasing the hits Sucker and Cool. Juicy Drop. Juicy Drop was a line of candy, the most famous product being the lollipops with sour liquid, where one side was a lollipop and the other contained sour liquid. I remember having one of these and barely being able to handle the sour liquid.
Julia Donaldson. She's an author who most famously wrote the children's books, The Gruffalo's Child and Zog. These were iconic books, and many of us would have read them when growing up. I didn't, but other people might have.
Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park is the iconic film series that first started in 1993. The series had 3 films and they focused on dinosaurs. The movies were great and it was eventually succeeded by Jurassic World.
Just Dance. Just Dance is a series of rhythm dancing video games released in 2009. The game is very simple. All you have to do is choose a song that you want to dance to and follow the instructions on screen. The more correct your moves are, the higher your score.
Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake is a singer who started in 1992. He used to be a part of the hit boy band NSYNC. He is best known for his hit songs Sexy Back, Can't Stop the Feeling, and his other songs from back when he was in NSYNC.
Kahoot. Kahoot is an educational game that was made in 2013. In the game, a teacher would host a quiz live and the questions and answers choices would show up on the projector and the students would select the answer choice on their devices or their group's device.
Katy Perry. Katy Perry was a pop singer that first started in 2001 and was best known for her songs Last Friday Night, Dark Horse, Firework, Roar, Hot and Cold, and California Girl. She's a very iconic singer and is still making new music to this day.
Keep Calm and Carry On. Keep Calm and Carry On was a motivational poster made by the UK in 1939 during the World War. It is very popular in Gen Z for the remix versions of it printed on shirts and posters.
Kenan and Kel. Kenan and Kel was a TV show about Kenan and his best friend Kel who go on various misadventures. The show ran from 1996 up until 2023. The show ran for a very long time and was one of the most iconic late 90s Nickelodeon shows.
Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar is a famous rapper from Compton, California. His song Humble was one of the most popular and became his first #1 single in the United States. He is one of the most renowned artists of his generation, which earned him the nickname King Kendrick.
Kerplunk. Kerplunk is a board game where you put sticks in a cylinder and put marbles above the sticks. Then each player takes a turn pulling out a stick but make sure that the marbles do not fall.
KFC. KFC, or Kentucky Fried Chicken, is a fried chicken restaurant. Not much else to say.
Pick the Buddy. Pick the Buddy is a video game that first came out in 2011, and it has you be a character called Buddy, and it was very popular in the mid-2010s.
Kid Cuisine. Kid cuisine was a food line kind of similar to Lunchables. These were very popular and were first made in 1990. These were very cool and some of them were even better than Lunchables. The best thing is that these are still being made to this day.
Kids' Choice Awards. The Kids' Choice Awards is an award given by Nickelodeon to the celebrities, shows, movies, songs that are voted on by the kids at the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards website. The awards have been given and awarded since 1987.
Kids Bop. Kids Bop was a band that would make remakes of popular songs of the year. They used to make actually decent music that wasn't garbage, but nowadays it sucked and could cause a hearing problem. Kids Bop, as Gen Z kids heard it back in the days, used to be good and is somewhat nostalgic. They formed in 2001.
Kiki's Delivery Service. Kiki's Delivery Service was a movie that came out in 1990 in the USA. The movie is about the 13-year-old witch Kiki moves to Seaside Town with her talking cat. She then learns to control her broomstick and sets up a flying courier service.
Kim Possible. Kim Possible is a TV show series that first came out in 2002. It's about a super spy named Kim who fights crime on a regular basis while dealing with normal issues with growing up and being a teenager. The show ended in 2007 and was very popular for a long time after.
Kinder Surprise Egg. The Kinder Surprise Egg is a candy that had a chocolate and on the other would contain a toy that you would assemble. These were very cool and I remember getting them a lot.
Kinetic Sand. Kinetic Sand was a box of sand that had magnetic properties to it in the way that it wouldn't just fall apart like a normal sand. It stuck together a lot more. These were very cool and even I had some of it. Once I tried building a sandcastle with it and flipping it sideways to see if it would stay together and I think you can tell what would have happened.
King of the Hill. King of the Hill was a TV show series that came out in 1997 and ended in 2010. The show was about a propane salesman named Hank Hill and his wife Peggy, son Bobby, and niece Luann. Also hope you know propane.
Kipper the Dog. Kipper the Dog was a children's book series about a warm-hearted dog, Kipper. The books also had a TV show made based off its characters. The books first came out in 1989 and its last book came out in 2005. The show first came out in 1997 and ran till 2000.
Kirby. Kirby is a character that is primarily featured in the many Nintendo video games such as Kirby Superstar Ultra, Kirby Air Ride, and Canvas Curse. Kirby was first introduced in Kirby's Dream Land in 1992. The series is still getting new games to this day on the Nintendo Switch.
Kit Kat. Kit Kat is a chocolate bar that you would snap a part off of. There was even a version of the Android operating system named after them, Android 4.4 Kit Kat. Fun fact, these are my favorite chocolates, and I was eating one while I was typing this entry up apparently.
Klonoa. Klonoa is a video game series with 8 games that started in 1997. The games have you play as Klonoa, a cat-like creature, and his friend Hugh Pal, who have to save the dream world of Phantomile from an evil spirit who wants to turn it to the world of nightmares. The series recently got a new game as of 2022.
Coney 2012. Coney 2012 is a 30-minute YouTube video about a man named Joseph Coney. The video is meant to bring attention to the acts of Joseph Coney so that he would be arrested in the real world by the end of 2012. The video went viral overnight and seen by many.
Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid is a juice brand that is best known for their juice packs that were produced in various flavors. These were extremely popular among kids and many still drink them to this day. It was always great to drink one of these on a summer day with your friends while playing outside.
Korn. Korn is a rock metal band that was formed in 1993. The band was best known for their songs Freak on a Leash, Falling Away From Me, and Did My Time. They're still active to this day, primarily doing live performances.
Kraft MC. Kraft mac and cheese was one of the most popular mac and cheeses. A lot of us remember how good it tasted. I have no clue what the addiction to mac and cheese was for us, but it just came and went. Nowadays, I don't really like mac and cheese. How many of you relate to this? Let us know in the comments below.
Lavender Town Syndrome. Lavender Town Syndrome was an old creepypasta about an illness that would occur in children who reached Lavender Town in Pokemon Red and Green. It is said that in the original Japanese version of the game, when children aged 7 to 12 visited Lavender Town, the background music caused erratic behavior which led to the child either committing suicide or getting an illness. It was reported that 200 children due to this, and Nintendo changed the soundtrack for the game for international releases. This was pretty scary back then, but like nowadays it doesn't really hold up.
LD Shadow Lady was a YouTuber who was known for her Minecraft build videos as well as her Shadowcraft series. She's well known in the Minecraft community and still uploads new videos to this day.
Late Internet Medley. Late Internet Medley was a music video made by the Gag Quartet in 2011. This video features over 40 iconic memes at the time, as the title stated, with a fast-paced, humorous song. Some of the memes included were Nyan Cat, Trollface, Rickroll, and Leak Spin.
Leapfrog. Leapfrog is a company that was best known by Gen Z kids for their educational toys, games, and movies. Examples of these include the Leapfrog laptop, the Leapfrog globe, which I had, and the Letter Factory movie, which I watched so much growing up. Ah, the memories.
Leave Britney Alone. This was a 2007 video made by Chris Crocker defending Britney Spears when she's being criticized and struggling. In the video, he says the iconic line, "Leave Britney alone." Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin was a rock band that was formed in 1968. The band was comprised of Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, John Bonham, and John Paul Jones. The band was best known for their hit songs Rock and Roll, Stairway to Heaven, and Whole Lotta Love.
Leak Spin, Yevon Polka. Leak Spin, or Loituma Girl, is a meme that was popular in the late 2000s and early 2010s. The meme depicts a flash animation of a girl spinning a leak with the song Yevon Polka playing in the background.
Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead is an FPS video game released in 2008. The game has players work together to fight zombies in a post-apocalyptic world and reach safe zones. The game got a sequel in 2009, and in 2021, Back 4 Blood was released, widely seen as a spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead.
Lego Club Magazine. Lego Club Magazine was a magazine featuring activities, built challenges, comics, and showcases the creations submitted by readers. The Lego Club Magazine became a connection point for Lego enthusiasts. Lego Games. Lego Games is according to those Lego games made back in the 2000s and 2010s, such as Lego Star Wars for the Wii, Lego Avengers for the Xbox 360, Lego Jurassic World for the PS3, and Lego Dimensions for the Wii U. These were very popular and are quite nostalgic.
Lego Island. Lego Island was a 1997 open-world video game where you would play as a pepperoni who was working to complete various tasks. The game was the first PC Lego game, and it featured the famous CD meme.
Oops, you have to put the CD in your computer.
Lego stop-motion animations. This entry was referring to those Lego stop-motion animations that became popular on YouTube in the 2010s, most famously the Bikini Bottom Flood video. I remember trying to make one of these a long time ago.
Legoland. Legoland is a famous theme park themed after Legos. The parks have many locations around the world, and the first park opened in 1968 in Denmark.
Leo's Fortune. Leo's Fortune is a platformer video game that follows Leo as he searches for a stolen fortune and has to solve puzzles and overcome obstacles to recover his lost gold. The game came out in 2014.
Les Miserables. Les Miserables is a novel written by Victor Hugo. The book follows Jean Valjean, a convict who seeks redemption while being pursued by an inspector. The book has been adapted into many films, musicals, and dramas over time.
Let's Make a Deal. Let's Make a Deal is a game show where contestants win prizes by making deals with the host. The series has been on and off since its release in 1963.
Liberty Kids. Liberty Kids is a TV show that aired between 2002 and 2003. The show teaches the American Revolution through the eyes of three teenagers, James, Sarah, and Henry, as they experience key events of the revolution and meet many of the founding fathers.
Libraries. This is referring to the libraries that we used to visit as kids. Some of us love going there for renting books. Some of us love going to rent movies. Some of us love going to the library for some of the children's events that they would host. Regardless, most of us will have fond memories of going to the library.
Life is Strange. Life is Strange is a video game series that first came out in 2015. The series consists of 5 major games and 1 remastered game. The series had its last game come out in 2022. The series is about Max, who saves her old friend Chloe by discovering she can rewind time. The pair soon uncovers the truth behind the disappearance of a student.
Lilo and Stitch. Lilo and Stitch is a film series about a creature, Stitch, that escapes to Earth. The creature then gets adopted by Lilo. Together they go on various adventures along with Lilo's older sister and 2 other aliens, one of which created Stitch and the other who was tasked with capturing Stitch. The series was extremely popular and it had its first film in 2002 and the last in 2006 with 4 films in the series.
Lindsay Sterling. Lindsay Sterling is a violinist who combines classical music with electronic, pop, and dubstep elements. She got popular from her YouTube videos and her entry on America's Got Talent.
Linkin Park. Linkin Park was a famous rock band. In the End is their most famous song, with 1.7 billion streams. Their vocalist was switched after the death of Chester Bennington, replacing him with Mike Shinoda.
Line Rider. Line Rider was a flash game where players draw lines to make a track for a sledder to slide through to navigate obstacles and challenges. The game was really fun and was recreated after the 2020 flash shutdown. Little Baby's Ice Cream. Little Baby's Ice Cream is an ice cream shop in Philadelphia. The store is known best for its very disturbing advertisements. These got popular on the internet and became somewhat of a meme.
Little Hug Fruit Barrels. Little Hug Fruit Barrels, aka one of the best juices of all time, was a juice line that came packaged in these small barrel-shaped containers. I loved these and fiend for them.
Little People. These are toys and play sets sold by Mattel. These were intended for toddlers to play with. They are still being sold to this day. However, they look a bit different. Like, they seem a little off and uncanny.
Little Tyke's Cozy Coop. Little Tyke's Cozy Coop was a very famous toy that so many of us Gen Z kids will fondly remember playing with. As soon as you see the image of one of these, it'll remind you of your childhood. I guarantee almost all of you watching have played in one of these before. These are like the staple of Gen Z childhood nostalgia.
Little Shop of Horrors. Little Shop of Horrors was a musical about Seymour, a florist who discovers a mysterious plant grown on human blood. The plant goes and demands sacrifices, and Seymour must protect those he loves.
Lizzie McGuire. This is a TV show series that first came out in 2001. The show is about a girl whose real thoughts and emotions are expressed by her sarcastic, animated alter ego. The show was decently popular, but the show sadly ended in 2004 due to a contract problem between Disney and the actress.
Llama Llama. Llama Llama is a kid's book that was written by Anna Dudney. It focuses on a young llama named Llama Llama who experiences the challenges of growing up and learns to get around them. The books later got a TV show. Loituma Onion Smash. Loituma Onion Smash was a horror video uploaded in 2006. The video featured the Loituma girl video spinning the leek until her arm gets twisted and the leek repeatedly hits her face and she gets worse and worse as the video continues.
LOL Surprise. LOL Surprise is a line of toy doll action figures. The dolls are quite small in size, and there are many different types of them. These primarily got popular in 2017 and were very popular among Gen Z girls. These toys are still being sold to this day and were first sold in 2016. Lomando.com. Lomando.com is a website that features many jump scares and is a game of sorts. The game is set in a haunted amusement park that ghosts claimed after a disease outbreak and the park manager's death. The player must eliminate the ghosts. Guitar famously played the game in a video. This is where the laugh meme originates from.
Lomax, The Hound of Music. Lomax is a children's TV show that follows Lomax, a music-loving dog who goes on adventures to teach viewers about music. The show ran from 2008 to 2009.
Lonely Girl 15. Lonely Girl 15 was a YouTube web series that began in 2006 following Brie, a teenager who logged her daily life dealing with supernatural events, and the series ended in 2008.
Lanidos. Lanidos is a YouTuber known for his humorous video game commentary videos. His videos featured skits, reactions, and gaming discussions. He started making videos in 2010 and is still posting to this day.
Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes is a franchise that is best known for featuring the characters Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Elmer Fudd, Porky Pig, and many, many more. Looney Tunes got many spin-offs and reboots due to regrowth and interest multiple times.
Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings was a film series that first came out in 2001. The series comprised of 3 movies and focused on a hobbit and 8 companions who set out on a journey to destroy the powerful One Ring and save Middle-earth from Lord Sauron.
A Lucky Penny Shop. Lucky Penny Shop is a nostalgia YouTube channel which reviews vintage toys and foods. The host of this channel goes by LPS Day. The YouTube channel was started in 2009 and LPS Day is still actively making new videos to this day.
Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion is a video game series with its first game on the GameCube in 2001, the second on the 3DS, and the third on the Switch. It follows Luigi exploring a haunted mansion. The games are really fun.
M&M's commercials. These are the iconic commercials for those M&M's candy brand that came out in the 2000s and 2010s. Some famous examples of these are the 2012 Super Bowl ad, checkout ad, and the ones with the green M&M.
Machinima. Machinima was originally a video streaming site similar to YouTube. They later became a YouTube channel and started becoming kind of a management agency for other YouTubers that made gaming videos. They started to become hated on and then eventually shut down in 2019.
Malcolm in the Middle. Malcolm in the Middle was a TV show that first came out in 2000. The show primarily focused on Malcolm, a teen surviving through life with his dysfunctional family, and the show ran 7 seasons and lasted until 2006 and was extremely popular.
Mama Luigi, YTP. This is most likely referring to a 2009 YTP using the episode Mama Luigi as the source footage. The YTP was titled Luigi Murders Yoshi, depicting Luigi, murdering Yoshi. The video is now lost. The entry could also be referencing any YTP that used Mama Luigi episode as source media in general, but I'm not too sure.
Manhunt. Manhunt is a game series that first came out in 2003. The series consists of 2 games, Manhunt 2003 and Manhunt 2 2007. The games are third-person stealth games where you survive the scenes by dispatching enemy gang members by executing them.
Maripets. Maripets was a flash game similar to Neopets where you adopt and raise pets. The game came out in 2005 and is still online to this day, with about 500 active users per day.
Mario 64 Bloopers. Alright, so Mario 64 Bloopers was an old machine animation series made primarily by SMG4 in 2011. The series was very weird and had a lot of more adult humor, so to speak, and was more skit-like.
Mario and Luigi. Mario and Luigi was an RPG series made for Nintendo consoles which focused on the iconic characters Mario and Luigi, along with the other members of the Mario video game universe. The game first came out in 2003, and the most recent game came out in 2024.
Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. This is a game series featuring Nintendo's Mario and Sega's Sonic the Hedgehog. The games feature Mario characters and Sonic the Hedgehog characters competing in the Olympics. The games were released when the Olympic Games occurred, and they were themed to the real-life location of the Olympics. The first game came out in 2007 and had its newest game in 2020.
Mario Kart. Mario Kart is a video game series that first came out in 1992 for the SNES. The game had you race as Nintendo characters. The most recent release was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. The most iconic games of the series was probably Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart 7, which were on the Wii and 3DS respectively. By the way guys, you just got coconut mall.
Mario Party. Mario Party is a video game series made by Nintendo, and the first game came out on N64 in 1998. The games are mini-games where you and your friends compete as Mario characters. The game had a trailer released with Mario Party Jamboree in 2024 for the Switch.
Markiplier. Markiplier is a YouTuber who started making videos in 2012. He was best known for skit videos and Let's Play games, of course, like FNAF, Skyrim, and Yonder Simulator he made back in the 2010s. His most iconic videos definitely have to be his FNAF Let's Plays, and he's still making new videos to this day.
Was that the bite of 87?
Mars 2112. Mars 2112 is a space-themed restaurant opened in 1998 in New York City. Sadly, it closed in 2012 due to diminished popularity. Fun fact, the alien mascot from the restaurant is now used by the YouTuber Raymundo2112 as a representation of himself in his videos. He beat us to uploading the Gen Z nostalgia iceberg.
Marvel Cinematic Universe. MCU is the universe where the Marvel superheroes exist, and the most famous are Spider-Man, Hulk, and Iron Man. One of the most famous movies of the MCU is the Avengers film series and the Amazing Spider-Man movie.
Marvin. Marvin is a TV show sitcom series that first came out in 2012. The show is about an alien boy named Marvin who was sent to Earth due to a war on his home planet. The show ended abruptly in 2013 when Lucas Cruikshank, who was the actor of Fred, decided to retire from Nickelodeon.
MattPat/The Game Theorist. MattPat is the host of the YouTube channel Game Theorist. The Game Theorist is a channel that primarily focuses on exposing the hidden lore and stories of different video games. MattPat was best known for his FNAF, Minecraft, Pokemon, and DDLC videos. He first started making these videos in 2011 and is still making new videos on game theory and his other channels Film Theory for movie lore, Food Theory for restaurant secrets, and most recently Fashion Theory. Sadly, on the 9th of March 2024, MattPat released his final theory video and handed off the theory channels to the members of the theory team. F's in the chat for our favorite theorist.
Matt Stoney. Matt Stoney is a competitive eater who is best known for being one of the earlier mukbangs on YouTube. He also won in the 2015 Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest. He started making YouTube videos in 2012, and he still does mukbangs to this day on his YouTube channel.
McDonald's. McDonald's is a chain restaurant best known by Gen Z kids for the Happy Meals that had food and a toy to play with. I remember that there was a Happy Meal with a watch in it that got recalled, and I remember being so sad when I had to return it.
Me at the Zoo. Me at the Zoo was the first YouTube video uploaded on April 23rd, 2005, made by YouTube founder Jawed Karim at the San Diego Zoo.
Megamind. Megamind is a movie that came out in 2010. The movie is about a supervillain named Megamind who finally defeats Metro Man but then is left to do nothing with no superheroes left in the world. The movie also had a 2011 sequel, The Button of Doom.
Alright, Meghan Trainor. Meghan Trainor is a musical artist that first started making music in 2009. She's best known for her songs All About the Bass and Title. She recently made another comeback with her new songs Mother and Made You Look. She just kind of appears with the hit song and then disappears again. It's kind of weird.
Men in Black. Men in Black was a film series that first came out in 1997 and is about a police officer who joins an organization monitoring extraterrestrials on Earth. The series had 4 films with the last in 2019.
Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance is a video game that was released in 2013 by Kojima Productions. The game has you go through different levels and fight many enemies as you move on throughout the game.
Metroid. Metroid is a video game series first made by Nintendo in 1987. The game series has had 11 games, and you play as Samus Aran, who tries to get Metroid organisms stolen by space pirates, who plan on replicating the Metroids and then using them as weapons to destroy Samus and other enemies. The game series had its latest release in 2021 with Metroid Dread for the Switch, and is said to be getting another game in 2025.
Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is a singer known as the King of Pop, known for his songs Thriller, Beat It, and Smooth Criminal. He started as part of the Jackson 5 and went on to become a solo artist and the king of pop. He sadly passed away in 2009 due to an overdose of sleep medicine.
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Mickey Mouse Clubhouse was a TV show that started in 2006 following the adventures of Mickey, Donald, Goofy, and Pluto and the others. It was very popular and there were many songs that came from it. The show ended in 2016 but still lives on as kind of a meme due to the hot dog song.
Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus is an actress and singer or songwriter who was well known for starring in the show Hannah Montana and her songs Party in the USA and Wrecking Ball. She has recently made a comeback as a singer with the song Flowers in 2023.
Milo Murphy's Law. Milo Murphy's Law was a TV show series made in 2016 by the same people who made Phineas and Ferb. The show even takes place in the same universe as Phineas and Ferb. The show is about Milo Murphy, the fictional great-great-great-great-grandson of the Murphy's Law namesake. Milo is a personification of Murphy's Law, where anything that can go wrong will go wrong. The show had some crossover episodes with Phineas and Ferb characters in it too.
Minecraft song parodies. These are a very fond memory of Gen Z kids' childhoods. These are Minecraft parody animations of popular songs from the 2010s. The most famous are Revenge, Take Me Down, and Herobrine's Life.
Miraculous Ladybug. Miraculous Ladybug was a TV show series that first aired in 2015. The show is about two teenagers who become Ladybug and Cat Wives to protect the city from supervillains created by Hawk Moth. The show is still going to this day and is also watched by a lot of Gen Alpha kids.
Miss Spider's Sunny Pet Friends. This is a TV show series that started in 2004. The show is about Miss Spider who tries to teach her many children about life and get along with others. The show ran until 2009 and was kind of popular.
Moana. Moana, the movie that first came out in 2016. The movie is about Moana, the daughter of the chief of her tribe. When a curse from demigod Maui reaches Moana's island, she answers the ocean's call to set things right. The movie had a sequel in 2024. Monsters Inc. Monsters Inc. was a 2001 movie following Mike Wazowski and James Sullivan. Monsters who are assigned children to scare until one gets into the monster world, and Mike and James have to remove the child without getting caught. It had a sequel.
Monsters University.
Clean transition.
Monsters University was a 2013 movie that was basically the prequel to Monsters Inc. It follows the story of Mike Wazowski and James Sullivan as they make their way through the American college together.
Monsters vs. Aliens. This was a movie that came out in 2009. The movie is about a woman who gets transformed into a giant after being struck by a meteorite on her wedding day. She then becomes part of a monster team sent by the US to defeat an alien mastermind. The movie was popular and even had some memes come from it.
Moral Oral. Moral Oral is a TV show series that first came out in 2005. The show is about Oral Puffington, a Protestant who shows his commitment to God while dealing with his abusive father and lethargic mother. The show ran until 2008 and was shown primarily on Adult Swim.
Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is a game series that first came out in 1992. The game series has had 28 games so far, with the new game coming out in 2023 with the game Mortal Kombat 1.
Motorola Razr. Motorola Razr is a cell phone line that was made by Motorola. The first phone was the Razr V3 from 2004, followed by the Razr 2 in 2007, and the Droid Razr in 2011, which was an Android phone. These phones were iconic for their razor-thin design, and if you had one back in the 2000s, you were a cool kid. The line was later refreshed in 2020 in the form of a folding phone line, which is pretty cool. Movie theaters. This is referring to the good memories you would have had going to the movie theater as a kid. The excitement of enjoying a film that you went to watch, it was an experience. Also, going to the theater at night just hits completely different. The empty theater, the dark atmosphere, it's just different, you know?
Movie/TV tie-in products. Movie/TV tie-in products is referring to the products that were branded to a movie or TV show series meant for promotional purposes. The best examples of this are the many McDonald's Happy Meal toys that were themed to TV shows and movies. Mr. Meaty. Mr. Meaty was a TV show series that first came out in 2005. The show was about two characters, Josh and Parker, who try to overcome the awkwardness of living as teens from their food court bunker. The show ran until 2009 and was more of a puppet show, kind of like the Muppets.
Mr. Potato Head. Mr. Potato Head is a toy line that was first made in 1949. The toys are basically a basic plastic potato which you would attach whatever eyes, nose, mouth, ears, arms, and legs. They're quite iconic and nostalgic among many different generations of people.
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood is a musical TV show series that started in 1968. The show is about Fred Rogers, who explores topics for young viewers through methods of presentations and music. The show ran until 2001 and was decently popular until that point.
Mr. Six commercials. Mr. Six commercials are referring to those commercials from back in the 2000s featuring the Six Flags guy doing his little dance and going in the bus with the people around him to Six Flags. These were kind of popular and were also kind of funny to watch.
Mr. Tumble. Mr. Tumble is a TV show that first came out in 2007, and the show is meant to teach children about the world around us while Mr. Tumble adventures and discovers with us. The show has had many spin-offs and seems to still be going to this day.
Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast is a very recognizable name on YouTube. He does many types of videos, such as challenge videos, philanthropy, and gaming videos. He's also a pretty kind person, and as of Jan 2024, he has 226 million subscribers.
Musical.ly. Musical.ly was a social media platform similar to Vine with short-form videos. This was basically TikTok before TikTok. In 2017, Musical.ly was merged with TikTok and became one app under the name TikTok as we know it today.
My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. MLP Friendship is Magic is a TV show series that started in 2010. The show followed the adventures of the My Little Pony ponies. This was a reboot of the original My Little Pony series. The show ran until 2019.
My Neighbor Totoro. My Neighbor Totoro, or Tonari no Totoro, was a 1988 film about two sisters who move to the country and find a creature named Totoro who is said to bring good luck. They don't believe it until the younger sister sees Totoro in real life. The movie is great.
No David. No David was a book series that first came out in 1998. Let me just tell you, bro. It was a literal menace to society. No David just kept on doing bad things. The books are quite iconic, and there's 8 books in the series. Narnia. Narnia, or the Chronicles of Narnia, was a famous book series that first came out in 1950. The book is about a bunch of kids who find a dimension to an alternate universe that existed within a wardrobe. The books were very popular, and most of us would have read them back in elementary school.
Naruto. This is one of the most popular animes of all time. Naruto follows the story of Naruto, a ninja who wants to become the best in the world. But there is a threat posed by the mysterious Akatsuki organization. Realizing this, he has to train harder than he ever has and push himself to the absolute limit. He's striving to become the Hokage of his village. The show released in 2007 and would end in 2017. It is still one of the greatest animes of all time.
Nerf. Nerf was the line of toy guns that first released in 1969. These were very fun to play, and many of us will remember having Nerf wars with our friends back in the day.
Netflix. Netflix was a service that came out in 1997. It originally started as a Blockbuster competitor, letting you rent movies that were mailed to you and you would mail back. Netflix offered to be bought by Blockbuster, but they thought that Netflix would fail anyways. Oh, how the tables turned.
New Super Mario Bros. New Super Mario Bros. Was a video game made for the Nintendo DS. The game first came out in 2006, and this was a side-scrolling game, and was very fun. Many of you who have had a DS would have definitely played this back then.
New Super Mario Bros. 2. New Super Mario Bros. 2 was a game made for the 3DS by Nintendo in 2012. The game was a follow-up to the DS Super Mario Bros. And this time had a new power-up, the Tanuki Leaf. This game was basically New Super Mario Bros. For the late Gen Z kids.
New Super Mario Bros. U. NSMB-U was a video game made by Nintendo for the Wii U and re-released for the Switch in 2018. The game was pretty cool, but didn't have anything too special. It was basically NSMB2, but for the Wii U.
New Super Mario Bros. Wii. NSMB Wii was a Mario game for the Wii. As usual, the story is that Princess Peach gets kidnapped by Bowser. Mario and his buddies have to defeat him to save Princess Peach. The game sold 30.32 million copies and made it the fourth most sold Wii game.
Nick at Night. Nick at Night was basically a programming block by Nickelodeon that started in 1985. This was kind of like Nickelodeon's version of the more popular Cartoon Network's Adult Swim programming block. This block hosted more adult-oriented shows.
Nick Jr. Nick Jr. was a programming block for Nickelodeon. It was basically the replacement of Noggin Channel. It hosted shows such as Paw Patrol, Bubble Guppies, and Doc McStuffins. They even had a site with a bunch of Flash games on it, and I vividly remember playing Candyland on there as a kid.
Nickelback. Nickelback was a Canadian rock band that was first formed in 1995. The band is best known for some songs such as How You Remind Me, Rockstar, and Photograph. The band is still a thing to this day.
Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj is a rapper that is best known for her songs Starships, Anaconda, and Super Bass. She started making music in 2007 with her song Intro or Dirty Money What. She's still making new music to this day. Recently made a collab song with Ice Spice.
Nico Nico Doga. Nico Nico Doga is a Japanese video streaming company that was founded in 2006. The website currently has the 34th most visited website in Japan. It also is the place of origin for a lot of memes, including Ronald McDonald Insanity, which is also in the Iceberg. Nihao Kailan. Nihao Kailan was a TV show series that first came out in 2008. The show was about a preschooler named Kailan who shares her Chinese and American culture with interactive exercises and magical stories with her animal friends. The show was really good and ran up until 2011.
Ninjago. Ninjago was a TV show series that first came out in 2011. This show was about the Spinjitzu masters in training and how they grow together and go around protecting the city of Ninjago. This show had a really long run, lasting until 2022. This show was also really iconic along with the intro, when the first Spinjitzu masters created the city of Ninjago.
Nintendo Switch. This is a 2017 Nintendo console and the successor of the Wii U. Its selling point was it was a handheld that could dock to a TV like a home console. It is the third best-selling console of the time, selling around 132 million units. The Switch 2 is releasing sometime in 2025.
No Through Road. No Through Road was an analog horror, found footage web series. The series follows the found footage of a few teenage boys who were found dead in their car. The series ran from 2009 till 2012 and was a good watch, even if it seems primitive.
No copyright sounds or NCS. This is a famous YouTube channel where you could use music for your videos without having to worry about getting copyright strike. The music uploaded on this channel is mainly electronic dance music. They are quite popular, having over 30 million subscribers.
Nokia phones. This is referring to the Nokia brick phones from back in the 90s and 2000s. Famous examples are 3310, 3410, 2330, and 6600. We also grew up when Nokia was experimenting with touch phones such as the 5530, 5230, and N8. These were quite popular, and not to mention they were all indestructible.
Not Another Teen Movie. Not Another Teen Movie was a comedy movie that came out in 2001. The movie was basically a compilation or combination of all sorts of the teen movies that had accumulated in the past 2 decades. This movie was pretty weird.
Numa Numa. Numa Numa was a meme in the form of a video that was posted to Newgrounds in 2004. The video had a man named Gary Bralsma lip-syncing to the 2003 song Dragosla Dente while dancing in front of his webcam. He made a part 2 in the form of a new song and a music video called New Numa. The Numa Numa guy himself is doing well to this day and even made a 2023 edition of the Numa Numa video in his old room where the original was made.
Of Mice and Men. Of Mice and Men was a book that first came out in 1937. The book was written by John Steinbeck and is about 2 migrant workers, Eleni and George, as they seek work during the Depression with the goal they share of buying a place where they can be in charge of their own lives.
OMFG. OMFG was a band that was best known for making the song Hello in 2015. I think most of you know which song this is from me playing the first few seconds of it.
One Punch Man. One Punch Man is a manga series that first started in 2009 and is still running to this day. The manga is about Saitama, a hero who protects for fun and can defeat his enemies with a single punch. The anime adaptation is quite popular too.
Ooga Chaka Baby. Ooga Chaka Baby was a YouTube video uploaded in 2006. The video depicted a CGI baby dancing in front of a black background to the song Hooked on a Feeling. The video currently has over 6 million views.
Orangina Anime. This was a line of really weird ads from 2007 made by Orangina Juice brand featuring suggestive versions of animals. Yeah, I'm not gonna go any further.
Oreo. This is a famous cookie made by the company Nabisco. Contrary to popular belief, Oreo was not the original cookie, it was actually Hydrox. However, Oreo surpassed Hydrox in sales because the name Hydrox sounds like a cleaning product and yeah, no one wants that.
Oreos. Oreos was a line of breakfast cereals made by Oreos, and they were basically Fruit Loops or Cheerios made out of Oreo biscuits. These were also pretty popular back then.
Our friends who lied. This is most likely referring to the kids on the playground who would say something like, "Oh yeah, mate, I got the new Nintendo 40S from my dad's uncle's son who works for Nintendo." Like, no they don't. Some of us were gullible enough to believe it too. I'm looking at you, Sunji. Oh, and Chundan.
Over the Hedge. Over the Hedge was a movie that first came out in 2006. The movie was about RJ, a raccoon who accidentally takes food from a bear named Vincent and wants his food to be in the same place in a week, so RJ must get the food back for the bear.
Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy Osbourne was a singer-songwriter that was best known for his songs One of Those Days, Paranoid, and No More Tears. He started in 1967 and is still making music to this day.
Panic at the Disco. They are a pop band consisting of 8 people with Brendan Urie as the lead singer. Some of their most popular songs are House of Memories and High Hopes. As of 2023, the band has split due to Urie wanting to focus on his family more.
Papa's Games. These were flash games under the Papa's name, such as Papa's Pizzeria or Papa's Freezeria. The hours that many of us would have sunk into this game is unforgettable.
Paper Mario. Paper Mario is a video game franchise that was first made by Nintendo in 2000 on the Nintendo 64. The game is basically a Mario game, but everything is made of paper and is kind of 2.5D in a way. I mean, it's still 2D like Mario. You can go to the side further from the camera and the one close. The series was quite successful and had its latest game in the series come out in 2020 with the game The Origami King.
Papermate. Papermate were a brand of school and office supplies best known for their pens and pencils. Many Gen Z kids will vividly remember the voice in their heads telling them to break off the plastic bit on the side of the pencils. I still hear them to this day.
Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol is a 2013 Nick Jr. show about Ryder and his team of pups who go and save the day and keep Adventure Bay free of evil. They had the tagline, "No job is too big, no pup is too small," and it's still getting new episodes to this day and even had a movie in 2021.
PBS Kids. PBS Kids is a programming block best known for airing shows such as Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, Arthur, Sid the Science Kid, Super Y, Sesame Street, Curious George, and Wild Kratts. They're still a thing to this day, and they're still airing episodes of new TV shows.
Peanut Butter Jelly Time. Peanut Butter Jelly Time was a meme song of sorts that was made in 2004 by the Buckwheat Boys. The song got very popular after it was posted to YouTube in 2008, in that one video with the song and the dancing banana gif and the song being featured in a few shows.
Pelswick. Pelswick was a TV show series that ran from 2000 to 2002 about Pelswick Eggert, who is in a wheelchair and tries to live a normal life and doesn't let his disability stop him from doing so. The show was not as popular and didn't run for very long.
Pen Pineapple Apple Pen. Pen Pineapple Apple Pen, or PPAP, was a 2016 song by Pico Taro. The song became a meme, and the guy who made it was even called the next Psy, or the next Gangnam Style. He got so popular that he got to be in an episode of Sesame Street and was featured in the music video for Psy's song I Love It.
Peppa Pig. This is a TV show following the life of a pig named Peppa. It was released first in 2004. She and her family go on adventures and basically do what normal humans do. The show can help children understand their emotions and experiences they could encounter growing up.
Pets, or Dogs, and Cats was a video game series that came out in 1995. The game was one of those video games similar to Tamagotchi or Nintendogs. The game has you adopt and raise a pet cat or dog. The games were quite popular and had their last game come out in 2013 with Pets Countryside for the 3DS, and these games were primarily made for Nintendo game consoles.
Pig Goat Banana Cricket. Pig Goat Banana Cricket was a TV show that came out in 2015 about 4 friends, a pig, a goat, a banana, and a mad scientist cricket. The show is one of those weird late 2010s CN shows. The show ran until 2018.
Pingus. Pingus was a meme that came from a 1993 episode of The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. The meme was a misheard line from Dr. Eggman. It was heard as Pingus, which sounded a lot like, well, you know. But Eggman actually said snooping as usual.
Snooping as usual.
Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd was a band that was formed in 1965. The band was comprised of the 5 members Nick Mason, Roger Waters, Richard Wright, and David Gilmour. The band is best known for their songs Another Brick in the Wall, Wish You Were Here, and Time. Sadly, Syd Barrett and Richard Wright passed away in 2006 and 2008 respectively, to the dismay of many.
Pinky and the Brain. Pinky and the Brain was an animated TV show series that first came out in 1995. The show was about 2 rats, one is a genius and the other is insane, and how they go on adventures in which the brain tries to take over the world with his companion Pinky.
Pirates of the Caribbean. This was a movie series that had its first film come out in 2003. The series followed Will Turner, who teams with Captain Jack and his crew to save the governor's daughter from Jack's undead pirate allies. The series had its last film come out in 2017 and has a total of 5 movies.
Pitbull. Pitbull is a famous rapper who started in 2004. He is best known for his songs Hotel Room Service, International Love, and Timber. He's still making new music to this day, and his old songs remain classics.
Pixar Shorts. Pixar Shorts were a series of short films made by Pixar in 2009. The series featured both new and old previously featured characters. The series still kind of goes on as the Spark Shorts series.
Planet of the Apes. Planet of the Apes was a movie series that first came out in 1968. The film series focused on an astronaut crew that crash lands on a planet in the future. Although the planet appears desolate, the crew members find a society where apes have evolved into human-like creatures. The series had 5 movies, with the last in 1973.
PlayStation 4. This was the fourth Sony PlayStation, released in 2013. It is one of the most successful consoles ever. It is a home console and comes with the DS4 controller, or DualShock 4, but yeah. Other variants of the PS4 were also released, such as the Slim and the Pro. Its main competitor was the Xbox One, and yeah, it sold 117 million units.
PlayStation Portable. The PSP was a 2005 Sony console. The console was Sony's competitor to the DS, which it actually had far better specs and graphics than the DS, due to which the PSP had higher quality games, but the PSP was $100 more than the DS, so people chose the DS. And also nothing compares to Nintendogs. So PlayStation Vita. The PlayStation Vita was Sony's follow-up to the PSP. The Vita came out in 2011 and was Sony's competitor to the 3DS. The PS Vita was also more powerful than the 3DS in this time. It was priced the same as the 3DS too, but it still failed due to limited games, high memory card prices, and the rise of mobile gaming, the latter of which also caused lower sales than the 3DS.
Pogo Channel. Pogo Channel was an Indian programming block which aired kids' animated TV shows such as Chota Bheem, Mighty Raju, MAD, which appeared later in the Iceberg, and a few dub shows. The programming block also ran in Bangladesh, Bhutan, Nepal, and Sri Lanka. It was basically Noggin Channel, but in South Asia.
Pointless. Pointless was a TV game show series that started in 2009. The game show had contestants answer history, geography, and literature questions. The contestants had to win by getting the least points. It is still running to this day.
Pokemon cards. Pokemon cards. These are cards that have Pokemon on them and are used to fight against other Pokemon. However, no one actually battled with Pokemon cards. Instead, we would collect a bunch of them to show off our collection. There were many of these made, some rarer than others. Let us know in the comments which one was your favorite.
Pop Rocks. Pop Rocks are hard crystal-shaped candies invented in 1956. The whole point of them is that when you put them in your mouth, the gas and the pressure releases, which causes a popping sound. They come in a variety of different flavors and are very popular to this day.
Popeye. Popeye, or Popeye the Sailor Man, was a cartoon character that was best known for having a pipe in his mouth and fighting off Brutus with his superpower strength that he gained from eating a can of spinach. He appeared both in animation and IRL form. He first appeared in 1929's Popeye.
Poe. Poe is a mobile game that was made in 2012. The game has you grow and raise a little pet called a Poe. The game was very similar in nature to Tamagotchi, and the character even has some resemblance to a Tamagotchi.
Prince. Prince was a singer/songwriter that was best known for his songs Kiss, When Doves Cry, and I Want to Be Your Lover. He started making music in 1975, but he sadly died in 2016.
Progressive commercials. These are most likely referring to those progressive TV commercials that you would see on TV between the 2000s and 2010s. The most famous example of these are the ones that started in 2008 featuring the character Flo. The character is still used in new commercials to this day.
Protogent commercial. This was a commercial for Protogent antivirus that became a meme due to the production quality of the advertisement. It was quite funny to watch.
Puyo Puyo. Puyo Puyo was a 1991 video game. It's quite similar to Tetris, so much so that Tetris and Puyo Puyo have collaborated in the past to make the Puyo Puyo Tetris game series. The game has latest released in 2020 with Puyo Puyo Tetris 2.
Raka Raka. Raka Raka is a YouTube channel that started in 2013. The channel always made comedic skits and other videos relating to Ronald McDonald, except Ronald was always very violent. Their videos were traumatizing to 6-year-old me and a lot of other Gen Z kids due to their horrifying nature.
Ratatouille. This can refer to the food or the movie. So ratatouille is a French dish. The story follows a rat named Remy who's always wanted to cook, but his family doesn't support him because they don't believe rats can cook, and humans pose a big danger to Remy because he could possibly make food disgusting. But as the movie goes on, both humans and rats can learn that he really knows how to cook. It's one of the best. It is one of the best and most nostalgic movies of all time.
Rayman. Rayman is a video game series that first came out in 1995, and the game series has had a total of 45 games so far. The games have you play as Rayman, who must travel through 6 worlds to free all of the Electoons, each of which are located on each level. The game had its newest release in 2023 in the form of DLC for the Mario plus Rabbids game series.
Razor scooters. Razor scooters are the famous scooters that you would see everywhere. They were so popular because of how fun it was to ride them. Also, most of you would have probably attempted to spin the base of the scooter and hit your ankle, and you know how much that hurts.
Red Mist. Red Mist, or Squidward Suicide, is a creepypasta and videos of a supposed unreleased episode of SpongeBob, which showed the character Squidward suffer a lot and eventually end up committing suicide. The video became quite popular, and a scene of Squidward staring into the camera was featured in an actual episode of SpongeBob.
Reddit. This is one of the most famous social media sites. Reddit is a site where users can post discussion threads on whatever topics they want to talk about. However, Reddit kind of has a bad reputation because the term Redditors is associated with people who are fat, unclean, sit in the room all day, and never go outside.
Redneck Rampage. Redneck Rampage is a first-person shooter game that came out in the year 1997 on the PC and the Mac. We can't talk much about this since, well, YouTube.
Resident Evil. Resident Evil was a video game series that was first launched in 1996. The games have you play as STARS agents who are sent by the city and the RPD to investigate bizarre murders that had happened. The series still gets new games, with the latest having been released in 2023.
Rhett and Link. Rhett and Link are the famous duo that is best known for hosting the YouTube show Good Mythical Morning. They have the tagline Best Friends since 1984, creators since 2006. Good Mythical Morning since 2012. One of the most iconic duos ever.
Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty is a TV show series that first came out in 2013. The show was more adult-oriented and was shown on Adult Swim. The show was about the lives of a mad scientist and his grandson, complicated by their interdimensional misadventures. It's quite iconic and still goes on today.
Rihanna. Rihanna is a singer slash songwriter who started making music in 2003. She is best known for her songs Don't Stop the Music, Diamonds, and The Monster. She was quite a popular singer and still makes music to this day. She even sang during the Super Bowl in 2023.
Robot and Monster. Robot and Monster is a TV show that first started in 2012. The show is about two best friends, Robot and Monster, who live together, going on adventures while solving problems. It ran until 2014.
Robot Chicken. Robot Chicken was an Adult Swim TV show that came out in 2005. The show had sketches making fun of pop culture and had its most recent season end in 2022.
Robotomy. Robotomy was a TV show series that first came out in 2010. The show was about two robot outcasts who live on the planet Isanus, inhabited by super violent murderous robots who always destroy each other for no reason. The show was kind of weird and ran until 2011. This was also an Adult Swim show.
Robots. According to the Iceberg image, this is either a film or a show, but there's also another entry for the 2005 Robots movie. If anyone knows what this is, please let me know in the comments.
Rock'em Show'em Robots. This was a toy line that first came out in 1964. The game has two players, each one controls one robot in a mini fighting arena, and basically both robots just fight. It's a really cool game, and it is very fun indeed.
Rock Band. Rock Band is a 2007 rhythm game series that is very similar to Guitar Hero. There were 4 main games, with the last coming out in 2015. Rocket Power. Rocket Power was a TV show that first came out in 1999. It's about 4 friends and their lives playing sports and getting into crazy situations. The show ran until 2004.
Rocket Jump. Rocket Jump was a YouTube channel that started in 2006, hosted by Freddie Wong, Matthew Arnold, and Desmond Dolly. The channel was known for making skits in the series ASCD, or Anime Crimes Division. They sadly no longer upload, with their last upload in 2018.
Rocko's Modern Life. Rocko's Modern Life was a TV show series that came out in 1993. The show was about the misadventures that an Australian wallaby has with his friends as he attempts to transition to a more American way of life. The show ran until 1996 and was actually made by the creator of SpongeBob, Steven Hillenburg. Rest in peace.
Ronald McDonald. Ronald McDonald is a mascot of McDonald's, and many Gen Z kids will remember commercials featuring him or some of the play places with his statue sitting on a bench where people would take photos. Some saw him as creepy back then, especially if they saw Raka Raka videos, but he's still an iconic and popular mascot.
RuneScape. RuneScape was a video game that came out in 2001. The game has you follow a traditional adventuring route to make it big. You do this by doing quests, fighting monsters, or being in a PvP combat including the Clan Wars. The game was quite popular and is still a thing to this day.
Running in the 90s. Running in the 90s is a 1998 song by Max Coveri that is famously used in many 2010s memes. Rush Hour. Rush Hour is a 1998 film series starring Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, who were 2 buddy cops who went on various adventures throughout the 3 films in the series. Ruby. Ruby was an anime-styled web series that started in 2013. It followed 4 girls who fight monsters and criminals in a world called Remnant, and is still going to this day. Saint Pepsi. Saint Pepsi was a music artist best known for his major contributions to the vaporwave scene. He now goes under Skylar Spence. Samsung Galaxy. Samsung Galaxy is a series of Android phones that is a competitor to Apple's iPhone. The first one was released in 2009, and Samsung is still making new phones to this day. Samsung Galaxy remains one of the most popular Android phones. Also, side note, OnePlus is better. I just had to say it. Samsung peaked in like 2017.
Samurai Jack. Samurai Jack was a TV show series that came out in 2001. The show follows Samurai Jack, who gets sent through time by an evil wizard named Aku. He then fights to return back to his home and save the world. The show was very popular, and had a really long run which lasted until 2017.
Sanjay and Craig. Sanjay and Craig was a TV show series that first came out in 2013. The show follows the life of an Indian boy named Sanjay, or Sanjay, I guess, who was with his talking pet snake and goes on various adventures. The show ran until 2016 and was quite well known among Gen Z kids.
Sanrio. Sanrio was a company known for making more cute animated characters, the most famous example of which is Hello Kitty. They also made characters such as Butts, Maru, Kuromi, and the Little Twin Stars.
Santa Tracker Google. This is a 2004 Google website that tracked Santa's current location on the night of Christmas Eve, and it also had many fun mini-games. Harshad used to love playing this game, BTW.
Scene culture. Scene culture was a subculture and aesthetic that was popular throughout the 2000s and 2010s. This culture emerged from Gothic culture. The culture was also known for its unique fashion, music, and sense of community. They are often associated with emo, pop punk, and electronical music scenes. It embraced colorful hairstyles, graphic tees, featuring the likes of Domo and Invader Zim. Overall, scene culture represents rebellion against mainstream norms, celebrating diversity and self-expression.
Scrabble. Scrabble is a board game in which you have to form words in a crossword using these small wooden tiles. The game is quite fun and many Gen Z kids would have grown up with it. Of course, when playing there was always that one person who would find some way to cheat.
Sega Dreamcast. Sega Dreamcast was a 1998 console that would be Sega's final console. Sega would never make a new console after this. The Dreamcast had an interesting controller with a screen and was one of the first to do so. Its best rated games were Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Soul Calibur, and NFL 2K1. Sadly, the console had low sales and was the worst selling 6th gen console at 9 million units.
Shane Dawson. Shane Dawson is a YouTuber that joined YouTube in 2005. He makes vlogs that were quite popular in the 2010s and he has 19 million subscribers. Nowadays, he makes conspiracy theory content and uploads less frequently.
Shopping malls. This refers to the malls that Gen Z would have visited as kids, the memories of going to our favorite stores such as Toys R Us. Shopping malls were very popular in the 2000s and 2010s, but sadly are now declining in popularity due to the rise of online shopping. Many malls are sitting vacant like liminal spaces.
Silly string. Silly string, these are quite popular and require little explanation. It is a very famous type of toy. It was essentially this stringy substance that is stored in a bottle that people would spray on each other as a prank or a joke. A few schools would sometimes let students vote on a teacher to get the string sprayed on. It was pretty fun.
Silly putty. Silly putty is like slime but wasn't as sticky, but you can still stretch and squeeze in the same way. Silly putty is very iconic, and I would be surprised if a lot of you watching didn't know what silly putty is.
Skrillex. Skrillex is a DJ and musical artist that started in 2004. He's extremely well known for his hit song Bangarang. The song went viral back in the 2010s and he was very well known, especially among the Gen Z kids.
Sky Does Minecraft. Sky Does Minecraft is a YouTuber that joined the site back in 2011. He was known for his Minecraft videos that were very popular back then and was watched a lot by Gen Z kids. He isn't as popular now and hasn't uploaded since due to drama for things he did. By the way, the butter was epic. If you get the reference, you're a real one.
Skype. Skype was a video chat program that was launched in 2003. It was very popular and a lot of Gen Z kids would have used it when they were calling family so they could see each other while talking. Skype was very widespread and helped catapult the popularity of video conferencing apps.
Slap Chop commercial. Slap Chop was a commercial that aired in 2008. The commercial featured the famous Vince Offer from the ShamWow commercials. The commercials were quite popular. There was even Slap My Nuts by made out of it back in 2014.
Slenderman. Slenderman was a very famous 2009 creepypasta about a humanoid creature with a slender build and a white face. The creepypasta was very popular and for many Gen Z kids would have been one of the first they read.
Slime. Slime was and is still a very famous substance that is used as a toy. It has a liquidy solid texture to it and is very sticky. Slime is so widespread and can be made at home using glue and a few other materials.
Slinky. Slinkies are a popular toy that are kind of like a flattened spring made of either plastic or metal. Slinkies have this cool gimmick where you can make them walk downstairs, but I personally have never been able to get this to work.
Slipknot. Slipknot was a heavy metal band formed in 1995. The band was best known for their songs Psychosocial, The Devil in One, and Custer. The band was not as popular as most other metal bands, but it's still a thing to this day, and they still make music today as well.
Slither.io. Slither.io is a video game that was released in 2016. The game had you play as a snake that would try to get as many of those Dippin' Dot-like dots to grow, and the goal is to become the biggest bird, snake.
Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is a famous rapper that started in 1992. He is best known for his songs like Drop It Like It's Hot, Next Episode, and Still Dre. He is a staple of 90s and 2000s rap music.
Sock monkeys. Sock monkeys are these stuffed monkeys that are often seen as a sign of good luck. These monkeys are known for their signature red lips and red ball on top of their hat. These were also given to people in the hospital as a prayer that they would recover soon.
Somebody that I used to know. This was a song made by Godeye and came around 2011. The song was very popular. At some point, it became a bit of a meme. The song is very good and worth to listen if you haven't already heard it at some point.
Sonic Dreams Collection. This was a 2015 game meant to mock the weird side of the Sonic fan community. It was a collection of 4 made-up games for the Dreamcast which were supposedly released between 1996 and 1999. Sonic Roboblast 2. This was a 2006 Doom Engine port of the original Sega Genesis Sonic the Hedgehog game, with modding ability and the ability to be played in the browser.
Sonic the Hedgehog games. This is referring to the Sonic games from the 2000s, such as Sonic 06, Adventure 2, Sonic and the Black Knight, Sonic Heroes, and Sonic and Sega Alley Stars Racing.
Sonic X. Sonic X was a TV show that first aired in 2003. The show was about how Sonic gets sent to Earth to collect Chaos Emeralds for him and his friends to get back home. So he and Chris Thorndike go and collect them while fending off Eggman.
Sour Patch Kids. Sour Patch Kids is a very popular line of gummy candy that was both sour and sweet, which is further shown by their slogan, Sour, Sweet, Gone.
Alright, South Park. This is an animated television series. The show revolves around four boys Stan, Kyle, Eric, and Kenny living in the fictional town of South Park, Colorado. The series often addresses current events, issues, and pop culture with some dark humor, satire, and absurdity. I think I said that right. The show ran from 1997 and is still running to this day.
SpaghettiOs. SpaghettiOs are ring-shaped pieces of pasta that have become a major part of pop culture for some reason. They're pretty cool.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man is a superhero that has been featured in many films. The movies started off as simple movies, but now has so much lore behind them. The first movie in the franchise came out in 2002.
Spirited Away. Spirited Away is a movie made in 2002 that talked about a girl who saw her parents turn into pigs and had to figure out how to get them back before it was too late. The movie was kind of weird, but it has a pretty cool storyline.
Spitting Image. This is a political TV show that was first aired in 1984. The last episode came out in 2020. The show was known for featuring more comedic and over-exaggerated images and representations of politicians. Squid Girl. This is a manga series that was serialized between 2004 and 2016. The manga followed a humanoid girl who had blue cephalophore tentacle hair who tries to take over humanity as punishment for the pollution they have done to the sea. The manga was very well loved and many people remember it fondly. There was even a TV show made after it.
Star Trek. Star Trek is a TV show that first aired in 1966. The show revolves around the voyages of a crew on the USS Enterprise, a space vessel built by the UFP. Its crew encounters various aliens along the way. It ran until 1969 and had its spin-off, Strange New World, in 2022.
Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Star vs. the Forces of Evil was a TV show with the Gravity Falls art style. The show is about Star Butterfly, who lives with the Diaz family while battling villains throughout the universe in high school to protect her powerful wand that confuses her. It ran from 2015 till 2019.
Steam. Steam is a game distribution service made by Valve in 2003. It lets you download and play games directly on the platform. It is currently one of the most used platforms of all time.
Steven Universe. Steven Universe is a TV show series that started in 2013. The show follows a team of intergalactic warriors who protect Earth, but the members, 3 highly trained beings, and 1 young boy leaves the team struggling in dangerous scenarios put in front of them. The show sadly ended in 2019, but is an absolute classic, and you should watch it if you haven't already.
Staggering Beauty. Staggering Beauty was a website that featured a black worm that moved radically when you shake your mouse. This website has rather mysterious origins.
Stranger Things. This is a TV show that was released by Netflix in 2016. Each season has a separate story, with the first one being the Demogorgon capturing one of the characters. As of June 2024, there are 4 seasons, and season 5 is planned to be released around 2025. One of the most popular shows on Netflix.
Street Fighter. Street Fighter is a video game series that first came out in 1987. It's a fighter game where you have to choose a character to fight different opponents. The games are quite popular and had a continuous release Street Fighter 6 on Xbox Series X and PS5 in 2023.
Starbucks. Starbucks is a coffee chain company that was founded in 1971 in Seattle, Washington. They are known for selling coffee such as cappuccinos and frappuccinos. They also sell milkshakes and pastries. Starbucks has a reputation of misspelling people's names, which is quite funny.
Subways. Subway is a chain that makes sub sandwiches. It's quite popular and still open to this day.
Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is a major sporting event that happens every year. The event is a huge American game where only teams that win in the divisional round playoff games get to play. The event is watched by many people and has a halftime show where a special singer is called on stage to perform. Famous examples of this are 1993's Michael Jackson, 2001 Aerosmith and NSYNC, 2011 Bet, 2013 Beyonce, and 2016 Lady Gaga, and most recently 2025 Kendrick Lamar.
Super Mario Maker. It's a video game made by Nintendo in 2015 for the Wii U and the 3DS. The game allows you to create and design your own Mario levels and then upload them so other people could play your levels. You could also go through and play other levels that other people made. The game also had a follow-up in 2019 for the Switch, and it is really cool.
Super Mario 3D Land. Super Mario 3D Land is a video game that came out in 2011 for the 3DS. The game was made to help show off the 3D features in the Nintendo 3DS and was the first proper 3D Mario game. It was quite special, and most people who had a 3DS probably had this game for it. The game had a sequel, which was
Super Mario 3D World. Super Mario 3D World is a 2013 Wii U game that was basically the sequel to Super Mario 3D Land for the 3DS. The game had a cat suit as its special power-up. The game got ported over to the Switch in 2021.
Super Mario Galaxy. This was a game that came in 2007 for the Wii. The game took advantage of the Wii's motion control gimmick to control Mario smoothly in some levels. The game's storyline mostly takes place in space and between different planets, hence giving its name. It also had a follow-up.
Super Mario Galaxy 2. Super Mario Galaxy 2 was the follow-up to Mario Galaxy. The game came out in 2010 on the Wii. It had many similar features to Super Mario Galaxy, and it's not really like a normal game sequel. It was really just Nintendo trying to make the original game the best it could be, which is what made it so special, and why it was so loved.
Super Mario Odyssey. Super Mario Odyssey was a 2017 Switch game where Peach gets kidnapped as usual and Mario has to rescue her. The game differed from most Mario games in how you could explore the world more freely.
Super Mario Sunshine. Super Mario Sunshine was a 2002 GameCube game. It was the second 3D Mario game. This time Peach is kidnapped by Shadow Mario, who vandalizes Isle Delfino, causing real Mario to be convicted and have to clean up the island while trying to save Peach. The game wasn't like all the other games, and didn't follow the same Mario game formula, which is what made it kind of special.
Super Smash Bros. Super Smash Bros. Is a fighting game series that was first made by Nintendo for the N64 in 1999. The game had 4 follow-ups. The game allowed you to fight using most of the popular Nintendo characters against other randomly selected characters or your opponent's character.
Susan Boyle. Susan Boyle is a singer/songwriter who first started in 1998. She primarily rose to widespread popularity in 2009 after she entered as a contestant in the shows Britain's Got Talent, where she sang the song I Dreamed a Dream. The song went on to be one of, if not her most famous song. She became a more established singer after this, and in 2023 even came back to the show that kickstarted her career to sing again and talk about her health.
Superman. Superman is a superhero from comics, TV shows, and movies. He first appeared in comics in 1938 and first appeared in a TV show series in 1948. He's part of the DCU.
Taboo. Taboo is a board game that has the player have their partner guess the word on the player's word card without using the word or the 5 additional words that are listed on the card. The game's pretty fun and pretty challenging. Tamagotchi. Tamagotchi is a toy that first came out in 1996. The toy was a little device that had a pixelated pet on screen that the user would raise and take care of. However, if you forgot to pause it, the pet would die, which was, well, dark. Still, these were very popular and were also popular among millennials.
Tangled. Tangled was a 2010 movie that was a spin-off of the Rapunzel story, but this time a thief had stumbled upon her and she's about to discover the world for the first time and who she really is.
Tarzan. Tarzan is a movie about a man named Tarzan who is raised by gorillas, but then learns that he's human. He then has to choose where he belongs, with the gorillas or with the humans. The movie first came out in 1999 and was based off 1912's Tarzan of the Iceberg.
Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is a singer that started in 2004, and she's best known for her songs Love Story, You'll Belong With Me, and Bad Blood. She still makes music to this day, just nothing good.
Ted. Ted was a movie that came out in 2012. The movie is about a man whose childhood wish of making his teddy bear come to life came true, but now was decided between keeping his relationship with the bear or his girlfriend Lori. The movie was interesting but successful enough that it had a sequel in 2015.
Teddy Grahams. Teddy Grahams were graham crackers in the shape of teddy bears in many different flavors and varieties. These were very good and are still being made to this day.
Teddy Ruxpin. Teddy Ruxpin was a toy bear doll with an electrical voice box that allowed it to talk. It was very popular between 1985 when it came out in 2006. It even won 3 awards.
Teletubbies. Teletubbies was a 1997 TV show about a group of 4 alien creatures with televisions in their stomach, known as the Teletubbies, who have fun in their magical world. They look kinda creepy.
Teen Titans Go hate. This is referring to how the TV show series Teen Titans Go, a kind of sequel to Teen Titans, was hated on. The show is hated on for many reasons, which the biggest reason being a very bad sense of humor. The show was also just in general nowhere near as good as the original Teen Titans show.
TMNT. This was a movie that first came out in 1990. It was based on a comic book about 4 teenage mutated humanoid turtles that were ninjas. The original movies were traumatizing to say the least, as the turtles looked disturbing. There are many more movies that came afterwards, with the newest movie, Mutant Mayhem, coming out in 2023.
Terraria. Terraria is a 2011 video game. It's a 2D platformer that has you dig, fight, and build. The game is in certain ways a 2D Minecraft, and a lot of people like to debate over which one was better back then. Both games even shout out each other on their splash screens.
That 70s Show. That 70s Show is a show that came out in 1998. The show revolved around a group of teenagers who go on adventures, and through their coming of age. Their show was set in the 1970s in Wisconsin and ran until 2006.
The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle. This was a 2000 movie about enemies Boris, the touchdown and fearless leader who escaped to the real world with malintent. Rocky and Bullwinkle do the same and team up with an FBI agent to stop the enemies.
The Angry Beavers. The Angry Beavers was a TV show series that first started in 1997. The show focuses on two beavers, Norbert and Daggert, who go on wacky and surreal adventures together. The show ran until 2000.
The Avengers. The Avengers is a film series that had its first film come out in 2012. The series had a total of 4 movies. The movies all focus on the heroes of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, fighting together to save the world while learning how to get along better as they grow together. These are very good movies, and if you somehow haven't already seen at least one of these movies, you should watch them.
The Beatles. The Beatles are a band that started in 1960, comprised of the 4 members John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr. The band was known for their songs Yellow Submarine, Hey Jude, and Here Comes the Sun. They sadly dissolved in 1974, and many members are no longer living.
The Casagrandes. The Casagrandes was a 2019 TV show that focused on Ronnie Ann Santiago from The Lighthouse, who moves to the big city with her mom and brother Bobby and meets her Hispanic distant family. The show ran until 2022.
The Catcher in the Rye. The Catcher in the Rye is a book that was written in 1951. The book revolves around Holden Caulfield, a teenage boy who was expelled from his school and wanders in NYC for a few days, while struggling to come to terms with how complex his growing up is and the seeming phoniness of the adult world.
The Daily Object Show. The Daily Object Show was a TV show series that first came out in 2020. The show is very similar for BFDI and is about these everyday objects that battle for prizes. The show ended in 2023. These object shows were everywhere back then.
The Dark Knight. This was a movie that came out in 2008. The movie was about Batman battling the Joker as he wreaks havoc and chaos on people of Gotham. Batman must accept one of the greatest tests of his ability to fight Joker. The movie was a sequel to The Batman Begins and the prequel to The Dark Knight Rises.
The Doodlebobs. The Doodlebobs was a 2005 musical TV show that revolves around Dee Dee, Rooney, and Mo Doodle, a rock and roll band that hangs out and practices their song and dance routines. The show ran until 2007.
The Elder Scrolls. The Elder Scrolls was a video game series that first started in 1994. The series has a total of 27 games. The games will have you play as the Dragonborn on their quest to defeat Illidan the World Eater, a dragon who is prophesied to destroy the world.
The Emperor's New Groove. The Emperor's New Groove was a 2000 film about Emperor Kuzco, who gets turned into a llama by Yzma and must regain the throne with the help of Pacha, a llama herder. The movie was great and was based off of another cancelled film.
The Flintstones. The Flintstones was an iconic 1960s TV show about Fred Flintstone and his wife who live with their neighbors. The show was very well known and ran until 1966.
The Goonies. This was a movie that came out in 1985. The movie focused on a group of young misfits called the Goonies who discovered an ancient map and set out to go on an adventure to find the legendary Pirate's long lost treasure.
The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy was a TV show series that first came out in 2001. The show was about the Grim Reaper who gets into a wager that forces him to become the lifelong companions of 2 scheming youngsters after he loses. The show was originally called Grim and Evil and ran until 2007.
The Gummy Bear Song. The Gummy Bear Song was a song that came out in 2007. The song was very popular among Gen Z kids. This was a staple of Gen Z culture. It's insane. Also, I unfortunately did not go look for the Gummy Bear album in stores on November 13th with lots of music, videos, and extras, so I sincerely apologize.
The Hobbit. The Hobbit was a film series that was based off of the 1937 book of the same name. The first movie of the series came out in 2012. The movies are about a reluctant hobbit, Bilbo Baggins, who sets out to Lonely Mountain with a group of dwarves to reclaim their home and the gold within it from a dragon named Smaug.
The Incredibles. The Incredibles was a 2004 movie about a family of undercover superheroes who, while trying to lead a quiet suburban life, are forced into action to save the world. The movie had a sequel in 2018, and both movies were great.
The Irate Gamer. The Irate Gamer is a series that started in 2007 on YouTube. The show was extremely similar to the show The Angry Video Game Nerd, and how Chris, the Irate Gamer, plays really low quality video games and points out their flaws. The show is still running to this day.
Karate Kid. Karate Kid is a movie series that had its first movie come out in 1984. The movie is about a martial arts master, Mr. Miyagi, who agrees to teach karate to a bullied teenager. The series has 5 movies, with the newest one having come out in 2010.
The Legend of Korra. This was an animated TV style series released in the year 2012. It is set about 50 to 70 years after the end of Avatar: The Last Airbender. That is a very good show. Avatar is goated. You should watch it if you haven't. The new Avatar Korra must face a series of challenges in order to maintain the order of Republic City. However, she struggles with one element in particular, and that is airbending. Most of the characters from The Last Airbender are present, but they are much older. The show was canceled in 2014 due to poor reviews and a lack of interest.
The Legend of Zelda. The Legend of Zelda was a TV video game series that came out in 1986. It's about a boy named Link who must save a princess from Ganon, who put a spell on his lair, which can only be removed with 3 pieces of the Triforce. There have been 29 games, the newest being Tears of the Kingdom in 2023.
The Lego Movie. The Lego Movie is a movie that came out in 2014. The movie was about an ordinary Lego construction worker, thought to be the special, who was recruited to join a quest to stop an evil tyrant from gluing the Lego universe. The movie got a sequel in 2019.
The Lion Sleeps Tonight. The Lion Sleeps Tonight was a 1961 song made by the Tokens. The song was used in many memes and was in the Lion King movie. I remember it being in a 2006 YouTube video of Pat and Stanley dancing to the song.
The Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid was a movie made in 1989. The movie revolved around a mermaid princess who makes a falchion bargain with Medusa in an attempt to become human and win the love of the prince. The movie was great and is one of Disney's most popular movies.
The Loud House. The Loud House was a TV show series that started in 2016. The show follows Lincoln Loud, an 11-year-old boy who lives with his 10 sisters, and with the help of his right-hand man, Clyde, Lincoln finds out how to survive in such a large family. The show is great and is still running to this day. We do not talk about the fandom, though.
The Matrix. The Matrix is a film series that started in 1999. The first film was about a stranger who leads a computer hacker, Neo, into a forbidding world, where he discovers that life as he knows it is a simulation that he must escape. The series had 4 films, with the newest, Matrix Resurrections, having come out in 2021.
The Mighty Bee was a TV show series that first came out in 2008. The show revolves around Bessie Higginbottom, an overachieving honeybee scout who attempts to earn every last bee badge. The show ran until 2011.
The Muppets. The Muppets was a 1974 TV show about Kermit the Frog and the Muppets who put on a show at their theater featuring a famous celebrity for each episode. The show ran until 1981 and even got a movie in 2011. The Neverending Story. The Neverending Story is a film series that started in 1984 about a boy who dives into the fantasy world through the pages of a mysterious book he finds. It had 3 movies, with the newest in 1994.
The Nightmare Before Christmas. Nightmare Before Christmas was a movie that came out in 1993. The movie follows Jack Skellington, the king of a Halloween town, who discovers Christmas Town and attempts to bring Christmas to his town, but his attempts to do so cause confusion. The movie was great, and a lot of people tend to watch this movie for Christmas or even Halloween.
The Noid, Domino's Pizza. The Noid was a Domino's mascot from 1986 until it was slowly phased out until 2021 when it was completely stopped. The Noid was supposed to get its own cartoon in the 80s. The Pals. The Pals was a YouTube group that made gaming videos, primarily Roblox and Minecraft. The group was made by Sub-Zero Exabyte, Dennis, Sketch, Alex, and Coral. The channel was extremely popular in the mid-2010s, but unfortunately they stopped posting after controversy in 2019 regarding tweets made by Coral targeted at a fan. The group has stayed inactive since, however some of the members continue uploading on their own. I remember watching the channel and was such a big fan of Sub-Zero back then.
The Pink Panther. The Pink Panther is a cartoon character featured in a film series started in 1963 with 25 films. The Inspector Clouseau who travels to Rome to find a jewel thief before he steals the Pink Panther. The series even had a few games made after it.
The Price is Right. The Price is Right was a game show series that started in 1972. The game show had contestants win by guessing the prices of merchandise to win prizes. The show still runs to this day.
The Road to El Dorado. The Road to El Dorado was a movie that first came out in the year 2000. The movie followed 2 swindlers who managed to get their hands on the map to the fabled city of gold named El Dorado.
The Rolling Stones. The Rolling Stones was a band that first formed in 1962. The band was best known for the songs You Can't Always Get What You Want, Sympathy for the Devil, and Painted Black. The band is still a thing to this day and is still making new music too.
The Sandlot. The Sandlot was a 1993 movie about a new kid in town who is taken under the wing of a young baseball prodigy and his rowdy team, resulting in many adventures.
The Simpsons Movie. The Simpsons Movie was a 2007 movie that revolves around Homer Simpson, who accidentally pollutes the town's water supplies, causing Springfield to be encased in a giant dome by the EPA and the Simpsons to be declared fugitives.
The Sims. The Sims is a video game series that first came out in 2000. The series was a life simulator that was based off the My Sims video game. The game series had a total of 4 games, with the newest Sims 4 having come out in 2014.
The Slow-Mo Guys. The Slow-Mo Guys is a YouTube channel featuring Dan and Gav, who do science experiments and record them in slow motion. It's really interesting, and they started making videos in 2010 and still make new videos to this day.
The Smurfs. The Smurfs was a film series that started in 2011 following the little blue creatures called the Smurfs who go on adventures together to escape from Gargamel. The movie series had its final film come out in 2017.
The Sound of Music. This was a movie that came out in 1965. It was focused on a young novice who gets sent to become a governess to the 7 children of a widowed naval officer by her convent in 1930s Austria. The film was relatively obscure and not as well known as the other things we have covered so far on the Iceberg.
The SpongeBob SquarePants Movie. The SpongeBob SquarePants Movie is a 2004 film that focused on SpongeBob, who leaves Bikini Bottom to track King Neptune's stolen crown with Patrick. The movie was one of, if not the only, Nickelodeon movie to feature the special Fruitage Your Arrow Nickelodeon intro. If you didn't see it just now, it was copyrighted. The movie was also one of the first Nickelodeon movies to feature the special Fruitage Your Arrow Nickelodeon intro. If you didn't see it just now, it was copyrighted.
The Terminator. The Terminator was a movie that came out in 1984. The movie was about a human soldier who is sent from the year 2029 back to 1984 to stop an indestructible cyborg killing machine, programmed to execute a woman whose unborn son is key to humanity's future and salvation. The film had 5 movies, with the newest having come out in 2019.
The Thundermans. This was a TV show series that came out in 2013. The series followed these siblings with superpowers who are very different but might be twins. The show series ran until 2018.
The Tigger Movie. The Tigger Movie was a 2000 movie that revolves around Tigger going on an adventure to try and find his family. The movie was great, and if you haven't already seen it, you should watch it.
The Troll Song. The Troll Song was a song called I Am So Happy to Finally Be Back Home that was made by Edward Keel. The song was called the Troll Song due to having no audible lyrics other than the sounds troll-lo-lo-lo-lo. You probably don't know the song by the name, but you'll definitely know the song upon hearing it.
The Weekenders. This was a TV show series that came out in 2000 and focused on the humorous weekend misadventures of 4 best friends. The TV show series ran until 2004.
The X's. The X's was a 2005 TV show. The show followed the escapades of the X family, trained secret agents gifted in thwarting the forces of evil, but not so much in fitting into everyday life. The show ran until 2006.
The Yogi Bear Show. The Yogi Bear Show was a 1961 show that ran until 1962, focusing on the titular Yogi Bear trying to raid picnic boxes with Boo Boo Bear at Jellystone Park, while Park Ranger Smith tries to stop him.
THQ. THQ was a video game company that was founded in 1989. The company was best known for making many of the WWE video games. They are sadly now defunct, meaning they went out of business in 2013.
Tickle Me Elmo. This was a plush toy that had an electric voice box. In that, when you pressed it, the Elmo would make a signature giggling sound effect. First came out in 1996.
Tiny Toon Adventures. Tiny Toon Adventures was a 1990 TV show that followed the adventures of the kid versions of the characters from the Looney Tunes episodes. The show ran until 1995.
Tom Cruise movies. This entry is referring to the many movies starring Tom Cruise as the Mission Impossible series, Top Gun series, and the Outsiders movie. These are seen as nostalgic to many and quite iconic.
Total Trauma. Total Trauma was a TV show series that started in 2007. This show series was an animated satire version of a survivor reality TV show featuring random teenagers who compete for a final prize by any means necessary. The TV show series ran until 2014 and was also known as Total Drama Island.
TouchWiz UI. TouchWiz UI was a user interface design that was used by Samsung back in the 2000s and 2010s. The design was best known for a skeuomorphic, Fruitiger humanist design. The design was a really good example of Fruitiger Arrow. One of the phones that exemplifies this the most is probably the Samsung Galaxy S1 through S5, and the Note 1 through Note 4. The design, in my opinion, is quite pleasant, but was actually quite hated back then.
Town of Salem. This is an online multiplayer game. It's essentially Mafia, but it takes place during the Salem witch trials. The game was released on December 15, 2014, and can still be played to this day.
Toy Story. Toy Story was a movie that first came out in 1995. The movie was about the adventures that these toys who can secretly come to life go on together. Characters primarily share footy, grow together, learn to get along, and accept each other. The series had 4 movies, with the newest one having come out as of 2019.
Transformers. Transformers is a film series that came out in 2007. It focuses on these vehicles that transformed into humanoid robots of two types, the Autobots and the Decepticons. They came to Earth to get a secret power held by a teenager. The series had 5 movies, with the latest in 2017.
Trap Nation. Trap Nation was an artist that started in 2012. They were best known for their trap remixes of many songs in the mid-2010s. These remixes were actually quite good.
Trolls. Trolls was a film series that had its first film come out in 2016. The movie was about how the troll village was invaded by the Bergens. After two trolls, Poppy and Branch, set off on a journey to rescue her friends. The movie got 2 sequels in 2020 and 2023.
Trouble. Trouble was a board game first made in 1965. The game had players try to get their pieces around the board and back to their home states before others and avoid obstacles along the way. It's a very fun game.
Truth or Dare. Truth or Dare is a simple game where someone must say whether they want to do a truth or dare. Someone says truth, the person will ask a question, and the one who said truth has to answer the question honestly. If dare is selected, the person who selected dare must do whatever the other person tells them to do.
Try Not to Laugh or Grin videos. Try Not to Laugh or Grin videos were compilations becoming a trend in 2010s. These videos had titles along the lines of Official, Hardest, Try Not to Laugh, Impossible Edition Challenge, Compilation, Funny Videos 2016. These videos were very popular, and many of us will remember challenging our friends with these videos. These were a staple of the 2010s.
Tough Puppy. Tough Puppy was a TV show series that came out in 2010. The show followed a secret agent Labradoodle who's recruited into a force called TUFF that fights justice throughout the city. The show series ran until 2015.
Tumblr. It was an old blog type social media that's very similar to something like Twitter, but is more of a blog style. The social media site first launched in 2007 and is still online and running to this day.
Tweenies. Tweenies was a 1999 TV show about 4 preschool-age best friends who go on adventures with their playgroup and learn about the world through songs, stories, crafts, and more. The show ran until 2003.
21 Pilots. 21 Pilots was a band that was started in 2009, best known for their hit song Stressed Out, which helped kickstart their career. The band is still a thing to this day and is making new music.
Twilight. Twilight was a movie that first came out in 2008. The movie was about Bella Swan, who moves to a town to the Pacific Northwest, and she falls in love with the classmate who reveals himself to be a 108-year-old vampire. It was interesting and was part of the Twilight Saga series.
Twister. Twister was a game that was first made in 1966. In the game, you have to put your hands and feet at different places on the game map, and you have to do so without falling over. The game is iconic and nostalgic among many generations.
UB Funkies. UB Funkies were a line of collectible toys that was first launched in 2007. They were used in an online game of the same name. You would connect them to your PC or Mac using a USB cable, and the character would appear in-game. The toys were discontinued in 2010, and the game kind of disappeared.
Undertale. Undertale is a 2015 video game where you must control a human who falls into the underground world of monsters and must find a way out, or stay trapped forever. The game is still available and playable to this day.
Universal Studios. This is an amusement park that was first opened in 1990. The park is extremely similar to Disney World, but in this case, Universal Studios features the characters from the Universal films, just Minions and Harry Potter. The park is still open to this day and got a Super Nintendo World added to it at the beginning of 2023.
Up is a Pixar movie that came out in 2009. The movie is about Carl Fredricksen, who, after the passing of his wife, travels to Paradise Falls in his house by tying balloons to it. He inadvertently ends up taking a young kid with him. The movie was great and was quite popular when it came out.
Van Halen. Van Halen was a band that was formed in 1973, known for their songs Can't Stop Loving You, Dreams, and Right Now. The band was comprised of the members David Lee Roth, Michael Anthony, Alex Van Halen, and Eddie Van Halen.
Victorious. Victorious was a 2010 TV show that followed singer Tori Vega, who navigates life attending a performing arts school called Hollywood Arts. The show featured Ariana Grande and was one of those classic Nickelodeon TV shows. It ran until 2013.
Virgin vs. Chad. Virgin vs. Chad is a meme format that was first used in 2017. The template was a combination of the 2016 4chan image of a virgin and the 2017 image of a Chad that was meant to compare them. People use this meme format to make fun of other people, and mostly started on 4chan and Twitter nowadays.
VivziePop. VivziePop was a YouTuber and joined in 2012. She was known for making animation videos, and she also started making speed anime draw videos where she would know how she makes her animations but sped up. She still makes new videos to this day, and recently started a new Amazon Prime show called Hazbin Hotel.
Vocaloid. Vocaloids were digital voice bots that people would use to make music. There were many of these made, the most famous of which was Hatsune Miku, known for her cover of Yevan Polka.
Wall-E. Wall-E was a 2008 movie about a robot. Wall-E left to clean Earth while people left it due to overpollution. Another robot arrives on Earth to check the Earth. Wall-E then gets on the ship that the other robot leaves on, and an adventure begins. The movie was great. Wander Over Yonder. Wander Over Yonder was a 2013 TV show that revolved around Wander, who is eager to help anyone in the galaxy with his friend Sylvia. However, Wander's friendliness angers Lord Hater, bent on galactic domination. The show ended in 2016.
Watch Mojo. Watch Mojo is a YouTube channel that is known for making videos just top 10s and things like that. They currently have 25.2 million subscribers. However, their view count has dropped drastically and basically are now irrelevant on the platform.
We Bare Bears. We Bare Bears was a TV show series that started in 2015. The show was about three bear brothers that do as much as they can to become part of human society by doing what everyone else around them does. The show ran until 2019.
Weezer.
Oh, it's just Weezer. Weezer? Oh my god, it's Weezer!
Weezer was a band that formed in 1992. The band was comprised of the four members Pat Wilson, Rivers Cuomo, Scott Schreiner, and Brian Bell. The band was best known for their songs Buddy Holly, Say It Ain't So, and Island in the Sun.
Westlife. Westlife was a pop band that was formed in 1998. The band was best known for their songs My Love, If I Let You Go, and Flying Without Wings. The band went on hiatus between 2012 and 2018. They returned in 2018 and is still together to this day.
Welcome to The Wayne. This is a TV show series that started in 2014. The shows followed three kids as they work together to uncover the secrets hidden within their massive, mysterious apartment complex. The show ran until 2019. It was originally started as a web series on Nick Jr., before in 2017 getting its own TV show series.
What Does the Fox Say? What Does the Fox Say is the famous 2013 song made by Ylvis. The song got popular among Gen Z kids for absolutely no reason at all, and I guarantee most of you watching this have heard this song. The song was fire.
Whatever Happened to Robot Jones? Whatever Happened to Robot Jones was a TV show that ran from 2002 to 2003. The show was set in the 80s and was about a robot must collect data on humans and do whatever he can to fit in with them. The show had a very short run, lasting just over a year.
Who Wants to Become a Millionaire? This is a game show where people compete and win based on their ability to arrange 4 answers in the correct order the fastest. They then have to answer 15 questions correctly to increase the prize money.
Whoopee Cushion. Whoopee Cushion was a prank toy that was invented in the 1930s. The toy was a flat balloon that you placed on a chair before someone sat on it. When the person sat, it would make a loud fart sound. This toy is so iconic. There's even a Whoopee Cushion prank in some Tesla cars.
Wicked. Wicked is a musical that was premiered in 2003. The musical was about two friends, Elphaba, or the Wicked Witch of the West, and Galinda, or Glinda the Good, who faced the struggles in their friendship. Wicked was one of those Broadway musicals and was shown many times throughout the early 2000s.
Wii Fit. Wii Fit is a game released for the Wii, released in 2007. The point of the game is to exercise yourself using the Wii Balance Board, which was sold separately. The game included mini games such as yoga, strength training, aerobics, and balance games. It did pretty well, selling 22.67 million copies.
Wii Party. Wii Party is a game for Nintendo Wii released in 2010. It is a game where you can play mini games with up to 4 people, making it great for family game nights. The game has mini games such as the house party games and pair games. It is made to rival Mario Party, although some prefer the latter more, and I'm pretty sure the latter is way better. But Wii Party is still pretty good. It sold 9.35 million copies, which indicates it had a general success.
Wii Play is a 2006 Wii game meant to be a fun way to play games, not try harding or sweating in them. There's 9 minigames: shooting range, find me, table tennis, pose me, laser hockey, billiards, fishing, charge, and tanks. It became the 5th best-selling Wii game.
Wii U. The Wii U is a 2012 Nintendo console. It's the successor of the Wii and Nintendo's final dedicated home console. Upon release, many people thought that the Wii U was an accessory for the Wii. Even CNET did. It's one of Nintendo's worst selling consoles, only selling 13 million units. The Wii U introduced many games that are big today on the Switch, such as Mario Kart 8 and Mario Bros. U.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is a movie that came out in 2005. The movie was based off the Roald Dahl book of the same name. The movie was about a boy who wins a ticket to take a tour through Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, led by Willy Wonka himself. And there was recently a new Willy Wonka movie that was announced for release in 2023.
Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh is an animated talking bear who loves to eat honey and is mostly seen going on adventures with his friends such as Tigger and Piglet. There's recently a Winnie the Pooh slasher movie that came out since Winnie the Pooh became public domain. Just wait, the same will happen in Mickey next year. 2025 update. It did.
Wizards of Waverly Place. Wizards of Waverly Place is a 2007 TV show about the Russo family, who seem like an ordinary family with a restaurant, but secretly are a family of wizards. The children of the family are competing to become the family's next big wizard.
Wonder. Wonder is a book written by the author R.J. Palacio in 2012. The story is about a boy named August who has a facial deformity. For most of his life, he has been homeschooled because of this, but his parents would later sign him to send to school. August has to get used to people judging him for how he looks, and throughout the book, he goes on many adventures and makes many friends. This is undeniably one of the best books I read as a kid. So good.
World's Dumbest. World's Dumbest is a TV show series that came out in 2008. The show is about a bunch of people reacting to and making fun of funny videos. The most famous of these videos is World's Dumbest Criminals. The show ran until 2014.
Wubble Bubble. Wubble Bubble were these big bubbles that kids could play with in many different ways, such as using them as a chair or using them as a battling ram to violently yeet children in the air. Anyways, these were quite fun.
WWE. WWE is a company founded in 1980 that specialized in hosting and publishing different WWE wrestling events. They were best known for airing different WWE wrestling matches, such as the ones featuring The Rock. It is still a thing to today and still hosting new matches to this day.
Xbox One. Xbox One is a 2013 Microsoft console. It was the Xbox 360's successor and the rival to the PS4. The Xbox One had exclusives such as Forza Horizon 2, 3, 4, and 5, and some Halo titles. This had backwards compatibility unlike the PS4, but only sold about 57 million units. The Xbox One also had many problems at launch, such as the price, the Kinect, the must connect to Wi-Fi once a day policy. It was really a troubled launch, but most of them were fixed with the Xbox One S and One X.
Yandere Simulator. Yandere Simulator is a video game that started development in 2014. The game is about a girl who has to try to get her dream guy by all means necessary, including murder. The game has still not gotten a full release and is still under development with only a beta release so far. The game dev has been under allegations for stuff. The game is still having its release date pushed back and probably won't end up coming out anytime soon.
YMCA. YMCA, the 1978 song made by Village People. The song was quite famous and many will remember listening to it. Such a pop culture icon.
Yo Gabba Gabba. Yo Gabba Gabba was a TV show series that first came out in 2007. Shows about DJ Lance Rock, who introduces the viewers to these toy monsters in a magical land of dance and color. The show was great and it was well known for its theme song. Had an extremely long run until 2020.
YouTube Kids. YouTube Kids was a kids version of YouTube, released in 2015. However, YouTube Kids has had some inappropriate and disturbing content on there, which doesn't exactly make it kid-friendly. Some features, such as commenting, are disabled if the user is under 13.
YTMND. YTMND, or You're the Man Now, Dog, was a meme-sharing website that first launched in 2001. The site was a fad and used kind of GIF-like videos and was quite popular. The site is still online and running to this day.
YTP, or YouTube Poop. It's basically just a content that is a shit post that never makes sense. They are mostly compilations of random clips from music, movies, TV shows, and other YouTube videos. Some of the most famous YTP YouTubers were Alien Mid 64 and The Things.
Yume Nikki. Yume Nikki is a 2004 video game that has you play as Madotsuki, who explores her dreams while collecting 24 effects that change her appearance and equipment along the way. The game has cool lore attached to it and was also praised for its surreal visual styles and emphasis on open-ended exploration.
Zoos. This entry is referring to the zoos that you would have visited as a kid. The fun of seeing different animals at zoos and just walking around there would have been fun to most of us.
Zootopia. Zootopia was a movie that came out in 2016. The movie was about a rookie bunny cop and a cynical con artist fox who must work together to uncover a conspiracy in their city about animals who started going rogue. This movie was great and shows the two leading characters learning to get along better and overcome any differences between them.
This marks the end of part 3 of the biggest, most in-depth Gen Z Nostalgia Iceberg Explained. We thank you all so much for watching until the end. We conclude this part with Layer 6, and we'll be picking up at Layer 7, the Depths. We hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay safe. Bye!